Welcome to Game Changer Weekly. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good so far. We should have a really good show. We should have, as soon as he jumps on here, one called Manders tonight. So it should be a very busy time, and we're looking forward to interviewing him here. How you doing so far tonight, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. There's a lot of stuff to talk about with him. I know we have a lot of great questions. You do specifically. Then also, I guess before he comes on here, we could talk about it. The PWI rankings came out for the year 2024. Or no, was it? Yeah, 2024.
That's right. And we were going to talk about that too. Number 115, one called Manders. So that's the highest he's ever scored on there before. So that's going to be something we definitely want to go over. Um,
Like
yeah,
that.
these rankings are fantastic. Do you want to just start at the top and see what you have to say here? We've got Speedball at number 34. Well deserved.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
I'll look
awesome
at
seeing
that.
him that high.
There's Effie's raid. Thank you so much for everybody
Thank
coming
you,
through from there
Effie.
tonight. Chump, how are you? Great one. Reed, what's up, Reed? How you doing, bud? Yeah, it's another good night here. Okay, so since everybody's coming in right now, we were just getting ready to talk about the PWI 500 rankings and what GCW performers were in there. We're waiting for one called Manders to show up here in a little bit or whenever he's comfortable with it. And we've got an interview ready for him. So we're going to have a good time there. Clown comes in. Evening, everyone. Evening to you also. So yeah, back to it here. Speedball Mike Bailey, number 34. What's your thoughts there? Well deserved on that one?
Oh yeah, that's awesome seeing him that high, considering all the matches he's had for all the different promotions and everywhere. Like it's so cool seeing him getting rewarded that high this year.
Well, I'm looking right now here. Let's look at what we had. So Speedball was number 39 last year. So yeah, he has come up in this situation. So good for him on that one. I wouldn't say number 2, but number 64, Blake Christian comes in on this one. And I feel like he should be a touch higher, but at the same time, the wrestling world is a big place.
So I'm actually kind of shocked he got that high. Like that's not an offense to him. I think that's just an offense, like that. Kind of most of his work has been done in GCW, but this year he did awesome work in New Japan and Ring of Honor as well. And I think that's why he took that big opportunity and didn't think about it at the time, but gave up the GCW World Title to go over there and fulfill like a dream, but also help elevate his status and elevate his work as a wrestler. And that's 60. I was surprised to see that number, but once again, that's awesome to see him getting rewarded for all his hard work he's done over this last year as well.
Number 77, Matt Cardona. Do you think he's at the right place in here, rankings wise?
I actually think it's kind of high because the injuries. He kind of missed a lot of time, but and he kind of compared to last year when he had all the belts as the indie god and kind of lost them all. I think that kind of hurt him as well. But yeah, I'm glad to see him. Like that's so not cool, but it's like surprising to see him like that high. Like I said, I was just expecting a little bit lower, but cool for him. So I know he enjoys all the work he's been doing all over the place as well.
And given the injury factor there, they still place him at 77, I think is absolutely fantastic. Without injury, maybe high 50s, low 60s. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you have the number from last year. I'd like to see what it was compared to last year.
Absolutely. I'll give it to you right now. Give me one moment here, and I will find that out for you. Okay, going to Matt Cardona awards. All right, so Matt Cardona was, well, here we go. In 2022, Matt Cardona was number 13. In 2023, he was number 31. So that's a hell of a slide, and I would have to say, ultimately, it has to be injury related because creatively, he's off the charts.
So. I must say, still like not even as an active wrestler, but still acting as GM and popping up everywhere while being injured probably helped him kind of keep that current status as well.
Yeah, the creativity factor here was huge. And just like I think I was talking about before, I feel like this is something that's just going to make Cardona greater over time. He's really been able to kind of spread his wings over here, and all for the better by far. So, yeah, that's that's him. On to number 79, GCW World Champion Mance Warner. How do you feel about that placement?
I'm glad he got high. Like, I even kind of think it maybe should have been higher for as much him and Effie did for that promo. For anything outside of like Bloodline and AEW wise, I think that was probably like the most intriguing story of the year so far. So I'm glad to see him that high, but I even think that one could have been a little bit higher as well as Effie's.
So Mance Warner will go with 2022 number 365, 2023 number 157, and then here we are now with number 79. So that's a hell of a climb in a short amount of time, by all means. And so I think that's well deserved. And given his importance and what he's been doing with GCW, I don't expect that that number to lower anytime soon. He's just going to keep climbing up those rankings.
And as much as he elevated his character this year as well, I think that was that well-deserved jump, like as you said.
Oh, yeah. And I just heard from Manders. He's on his way. He just got a hold of me just a couple minutes ago. So we're going to hang in there with him. All right. Let's go on to number 92. First time cracking the top 100, the Prize City OG, Alec Price. Thoughts on that one?
I'm glad. Same thing. He had a bunch of high quality but high big name matches he had this year and delivered all of them. And as a singles competitor, I definitely think he deserved to be in the top 100 for sure.
Yeah, I think that he's well on his way. I don't know where he's going to peak at, but he's still climbing. So who the hell knows what's going to happen there? And again, I don't know if it increased his stock or not, but when he was doing stuff with the Garbage Daddies, you know, he was building on something there that I think is going to be there for a long time. I expect a tag team run, I hope, or fingers crossed, a tag team run. I would like to see it as a Cole Radrick fan also. I'm a fan of both of these. But so who knows? But I see a climb next year as long as everything is still on the same trajectory there. But yeah, congratulations, Prize City OG. On to number 106. This would be our UV champion, Rina Yamashita. Any thoughts on her? Besides absent. I can see the look on your face. You're like,
I don't want to like disrespect like that. I'm glad she got that high, but I'll be honest, in ring, we didn't see much of her this year compared to last. So to have her as high as some of these other names that I see on there, just based off of what I saw in ring work. And yes, I know that's kind of strictly most of the time I see her is in GCW, not so much when she's back home. So that could be on me as well. But that number over some of these names like Zeffy, Masha, Manders, Jordan.
Speaking of Manders, sorry
about that. Yep,
we got a buddy in the house here. You want me to add him on, or you want to do the 3 window first there?
Let me get the 3 window up here.
I just noticed the stud level went up in the room all of a sudden. I'm like, Manders must be here.
There we go.
How you doing tonight, Manders?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Oh man, it's another good night so far. Brant's already drinking, and I can't do anything past hard liquor, so we're doing good right now around here.
Let's go.
I had to take advantage. We're interviewing Manders. I gotta have a drink, and I can always say I had a drink while talking with Manders. So, cheers to you.
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, are you drinking only on weekends right now, or
only really on weekends? So
yeah.
That's the good time later then.
Well, yeah, actually, we'll.
This one's Golden Road out here, like LA and Vegas. It's pretty good. This one's the Pacific Blonde Ale. Like I got like the California like variety package on the weekend.
They drink fancy out here, man.
Hey, not too bad. It's not awful, but not too fancy either.
He's drinking them rich people beers.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, see, he's like, hell no. Yeah. Yes. Do you think then we should stop on the PWI? Sorry, my
absolutely
messing with me here and get into here with a boy for the night.
Yes. Why don't you give him one of your world famous introductions as you always do?
All right, man. We're gonna give Manders the introduction. So here we go. Go ahead and take it easy, guys. I'm going to give you a little rundown on our boy for the night. We're going to enjoy ourselves.
I got Pink Power Ranger now somehow.
Yeah, you look cute, man. That's a cute Power Ranger. No, put it back. Own that shit. Own that shit.
It's gonna be better. There we go. There we go.
There we go. All right. Yeah, you look cute, buddy. Right in the middle of the.
Oh my goodness.
The manly intro. All right, here we go. So GCW fans, we're going to be sitting down with a very special guest tonight, one called Manders. He's one of the members of the 3-time tag team champions SGC, who last year PWI ranked at 35 out of the 100 tag teams in the world. In GCW, SGC separated and all went their own ways. As for one called Manders, he just finished up his first trip to Japan less than a month ago and just hit a record high PWI ranking that we'll discuss shortly. Fans first saw him at GCW Lights Out on July 21st, 2019 in Nashville, Tennessee. This would be the only time at GCW that he went under the name Steve Manders. The boss of the plane averages 89 matches a year if you don't count his partial rookie year. So far in 2024, he's had 83 matches with 4 months to go, which puts him on pace to beat his 2023 record of 124 matches. He's been wrestling for 7 years and have racked up 7 championship reigns. He's the current holder of the Action Championship 137 days running. That's just a touch south of his average title run of 143 days. And in the last 2 months, his singles record at GCW is 4-2. Those only 2 losses came at the hands of UV champion Rina Yamashita and GCW world champion Mance Warner. The PWI 500 rankings recently came out. Manders was number 354 in 2020, number 335 in 2021, number 358 in 2022, number 163 in 2023, and today just released new rankings. He comes in at a record high 115. It's obvious his trajectory has been spiraling upwards recently. We feel fortunate at Game Changer Weekly to have him on the show with us tonight. Listeners, I'd like to introduce to you our guest for this evening, one called Manders. So how you doing tonight, bud?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. That was a hell of an intro. I love it.
That's the only thing I can do. It's just bullshit from here on outward.
He's done for the night.
Yeah, I blew a gasket after that. Oh my goodness.
To be honest, I didn't even know the PWI was today for the 500. I had no idea, and then somebody sent me the rankings or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I went through the whole thing, and it's kind of awesome, pretty wild.
Yeah, man. Hard work pays off, right?
Yeah, and it's like it matters, but then it's like, like it's cool to be in it. So like showing like, sometimes you can look up from, all the grinding you're trying to do, right? And so I'm always used to like just sticking my head in the ground, just kind of just going, and then having somebody just be like, hey, you did that. Oh, I did? Like, oh, it's cool. Like, so
yeah.
Awesome.
I think it's cool, like how like to see the growth, because I just expect like just people watching like independent wrestling, they always expect all those numbers to be lower, but you now see these names like bigger. Your audience is getting bigger and bigger and catching more eyes, and I think that's cool to see the numbers grow as seeing you work at all these different promotions and seeing you just continue to get bigger and bigger over the years. And I think that's really cool that other people are seeing the growth that we've been kind of seeing as well in GCW as GCW fans for the last couple of years.
Pretty cool.
All right, man. I'm going to hit you with the hard questions.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Here we go. So did you watch wrestling as a kid, and what companies were you watching?
Oh, of course. It was WWF and WCW. I was born in 93, so I remember 99, 2000 a lot. So it was very I was always a big Sting kid when I was like Crow Sting, and then Austin and Sting were like the two. Like this is a hell of a story. I don't think I've ever really shared this. So when I went to, it's not communion. It was something like it though. And I remember being Austin as a kid, and I remember showing up during Halloween dressed up as Stone Cold. and I'm there dressed up as Stone Cold, and everybody else is dressed up like a flower or like a doctor or like Teletubbies or like that. So then when I'm Steve Austin, my communion lady was kind of very confused on like, who are you, and then I'd make the impression I'm Stone Cold, I'm the toughest son of a bitch in all the WWF, what? And she was not very, she didn't like that very much. So my mom had a conversation with her, and I guess it didn't go very well. I remember like mom going in the car and being like, "We're never doing this again, Steve." So pretty wild.
I was praying that was going to end up with you grabbing like two of the little communion wines, standing on top of the altar, slamming them together, and then drinking it.
Oh, yeah.
I swear that's where I thought that story was going as a
That
child.
would have been pretty sick. That'd probably be
Give
me
it a-
today. So
Give it the old, oh, hell yeah.
Exactly. That's what I swear. I was like, oh my God, please say that happened. I'm just
I
ready
wish,
to die laughing.
Not bad for a 6-year-old, saying shit or whatever. So
Right.
Oh, yeah. So then what about football when you were younger?
oh god,
Who were you
that
following?
was I was a big Washington Commanders fan, or I guess they were different back then, but yeah, it's kind of funny now because like my last name is Manders, so it's like sometimes when I'll like scroll and look, like it'll be like, bad day for the Manders, and I'm sitting there like, wait, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, it's the Commanders, not my actual last name. So yeah, I was a big Skins fan, and then
Yeah.
now they're the Washington football team, and then they became the Commanders. So I was big in like, see who they had when I was a kid. It was like Steven Davis,
Brunel.
yeah, Brunel. Brunel was like there.
Oh.
It was Brad Johnson, like Daryl Green, like
Dion was
Bailey.
there for a year.
yeah, Deion was there kind of, yeah. So yeah, I was a Commanders guy.
Browns. My shitty Browns, but they moved to Baltimore. Hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Football is never the same after that, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So you came into pro wrestling with an amateur wrestling and football background. Fork Union Military Academy, followed Virginia Cavaliers Jim Reed to Iowa, and that's where you became an Iowa Hawkeye as a walk-on. You had experience at linebacker, halfback, fullback, was teammates with now San Francisco's tight end George Kittle. Your love of wrestling was well known. You had a chance meeting with WWE's Big E, also a former Iowa Hawkeye. You both had a conversation about pro wrestling that day that changed your life. Could you talk a little bit about that conversation and what it was about?
So the strength coach at the time, his name was Coach Doyle, and he was big in like NWA, Ric Flair, like those kind of guys. So like when he figured out that I was a big wrestling fan, and this is kind of around the time when like the network was like really big.
Mm-hmm.
So like Sting comes back, right? Or Sting enters WWE, and then like network was big, so like I was always watching it all the time. And then I remember this is kind of the long one, but anyway,
we have tons of time, brother. This is all about you. This is beautiful. It's all about you, man.
So like we were doing like these like morning workouts, and I was one of the people that like I hated working out in the afternoon because you had like three workouts. It was like one early, you do like one in the middle of the day, and then one in the afternoon. And if you're in the summer, you're trying to work out, like the afternoons are awful. Like it's hot,
fucking
and it's
hot.
Iowa. It's Iowa's humidity is insane. You never think about it, but like. So I right through the mornings, and so I was doing the mornings, and then like after workouts, George would go on the second ones.
Mm-hmm.
So like when he would go to work out, I'd put on the network and I'm watching it, and then when I come back, I'm still watching the network, still going, and he's just kind of like, "Damn, dude, like you really like this wrestling?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's pretty sick." And that's when like the Cruiserweight Classic was big, and it was like a library. You can watch back, like I can watch back fucking Austin and the Attitude Era or whoever, and The Rock, and list goes on and on and on. And he was kind of just into it, and he kind of liked it. And then I think at the same time too, like Netflix had like, geez, I'm drawing a blank. Lucha Underground. So like he was super into like Penta, and like that's kind of like how he got really into Pentagon, and he started just watching them all, and he was just thought it was awesome. So my nickname for my strength and conditioning coach was Mankind, because like even though I'm not 6'5" or whatever, even though McFoley did all the crazy stunts and he was crazy, it wasn't like he was the most athletic guy. So like being a fullback at Iowa, you're a glorified lineman, so it's not like I was some wide receiver that can run a 4.5 or 4.4. So, but I, would bust my ass. So like, that's where the nickname, like, he replicated that.
Your job's literally to make a car crash as a fullback every play. So that's like perfect nickname right there.
Fuck.
Just ramming heads, man. So there you go. There's another one. So like, God, I think it was like my end of my junior year. So I was finishing finals or whatever. And I remember Coach Doyle just being like, hey, Big E's coming to town. He's never seen the new facility, because like we just got like a 42,000 square foot facility, which is, now there's bigger college gyms now, but at the time outside of Bama, we were like the second or whatever. So it was like, it's a lot of square feet. So
yeah.
Big E went to see it. And I just remember just like, because like when you walk in the gym, it's like these big ass doors. So you open the whole door and you walk right in, and I just see this humongous refrigerator of a person. And it's Big E, like just biggest chest, biggest arms. Like I was just like, holy shit, this dude is huge. Like it makes sense why he played defensive tackle here. So I was just kind of like just shooting the shit with him, and he was super cool. And he's just telling me about how, if you really want to do this wrestling, there's a school called Black and Brave. It's about, it's in Davenport, which Davenport to Iowa City is like 45 minutes, which is nothing.
Yeah.
And then it just like the light bulb went on. I was like, dude, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this. So after my senior year, so that summer heading into my senior year, after I did it, I was like, dude, we're doing this. We're doing this. So I just remember like taking the first bump or like hitting the ropes, and I just sat there, was just like, yeah, all those car crashes I did in football, I could totally do this.
And get paid for it now. Back then, you didn't get paid for it. Now you can really get paid for it.
A little less to the head too.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Golly.
Yeah, less train wrecks to the head on daily. Mm-hmm. So those were most of the factors that made you say yes to pro wrestling, huh?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I got one.
Pretty simple, yeah. You don't have to say much. I mean, it could have been like, of course, like Seth Rollins as your trainer is cool, right? But like, it honestly, like, it could have been Joe Blow. That was 45 minutes. Just like the thought process of like, hey, this is wrestling. If you want to get into this, is how it's right here.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, we're doing this. So.
The atmosphere, just being in the atmosphere, the camaraderie of having someone try to, fucking up a flip over and over, getting frustrated, just being in that environment of trust is, So
very similar.
That rolled me into my next statement here. You trained at Black and Brave Wrestling Academy, owned by Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, and Merrick Brave. Between both of your trainers, they've carried 37 championships. Also, Tom Pritchard's influence can be seen in Merrick's training that I've seen. Are there any stories you'd like to share from those training days?
So when I'm trying to remember how I started, because it was like they do like it's like a 12-week program, which like really isn't that long. For wrestling training, it's really like a year.
Yeah.
From what I've noticed, I didn't know at the time, but I think we played Florida in the Outback Bowl, and I think Raw was that night in Florida. So Outback Bowl's in Tampa. I'm pretty sure I already knew I was doing this. Like this was happening. I already enrolled in the school. This is happening. And I remember Rollins was there, Ettore was there, Big E was there, and was it Titus O'Neil? I think is his name. Yeah, because he played at Florida, so like they were all at the game, and Rollins got me tickets or whatever. So like that night, like me, George, and a couple other guys, we like watched Monday Night Raw after the game, even though we got our balls kicked in by Florida.
Right, right.
Um, and then it was like 3 days later, because after bowl season, right? Like in college football, and I'm sure it works in other sports too. After bowl season, you normally like take 2 weeks off and then you go back to training. So instead of going home, I just went back to Iowa City and then drove 45 minutes to Davenport and then did the Hell Week tryout session or whatever. So it was like,
oh yeah.
So I had like a bum hammy. I got a messed up hamstring. I had like a tweaked hamstring from bowl prep and bowl week and then the game, and then like 3 days later go do this like crazy CrossFit workout where they're totally gonna make you puke and try to make you puke, and like Rollins is like a big CrossFit guy, so like you had like guys like me like trying to do this workout, and then you had like people that like probably have never seen a weight in their life, but they wanted to be fans because
right.
they want to be wrestlers because they're fans of Rollins. So it was like a weird like just different kind of people, and then like I just remember sitting there just being like, dang man, if I could do Coach Doyle's training or whatever, I could do this even with a bum hammy. So I'm like wobbling with a bad leg. It was pretty wild.
Wow. Was that 2017?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the year that your Hawkeyes handed my Buckeyes their ass hard.
Yes. Yes.
That's the first time we'd seen you in a couple years, and then we go over and it wasn't pretty.
Was it like 55-28?
Maybe you may have memorized the score. Yeah, they were number 6.
You can't forget beating Ohio State's ass, man.
Bro, yeah, a number 6 and number 6 Ohio State too. So yeah that was a squad. I want to give something out there to some of the fans. Rollins and Merrick were both trained by Danny Daniels. Danny trained under Al Snow. Al was trained by Lou Klein. Lou Klein was one of the first wrestlers to use the Boston Crab. Another famous wrestler to use the Boston Crab was Stan Hansen. So which is, thank you, Manders. He picked up on it.
That's how we got to Stan Hansen there.
Yes. So that's the same man that at least partially inspired Manders to use his deadly lariat as a finisher. So my question to you is, are there any other moves you have that are partially inspired by other wrestlers?
Oklahoma Stampede.
Yep. The Pounce.
Pounce, yeah. I'm trying to like, because when I was a kid, all right, it's not like Dr. Death and Stan Hansen were big wrestlers in the WWE, right? By the time in 1999, maybe Dr. Death's still around, but then like Hansen was still in All Japan. He was in his tail end of his years. So it's like, once I got in the business, I really like, you know how it is, like, right? Like if you try your first Miller Lite, like, oh, it's pretty good, right? But then it's like, oh, try the IPAs or whatever, which B might be into more of those IPAs. But like,
I was about to say, goddamn, I knew that was coming. I will turn it off here.
Like being like a studier of the game.
You pissed
or whatever,
off the
right?
Pink Ranger, Manders. You pissed him off. Oh, there he is. Yep.
Sorry.
Caught him slugging brewskis.
Damn it.
I love it.
I'm sorry, Manders.
No, I'm into this. There's a song. I'm sure people maybe know, maybe not. I clearly like country music. There's this guy named Coulter Wall. It's a song called "Talking Prairie Boy," and he's talking about this guy. He drinks IPAs and all this stuff, and he makes fun of him. He goes, "You can have your IPAs, but it's a good song." So if you end up Talking Prairie Boy, it's pretty good.
Check it out.
It's very like Johnny Cashy, but anyway, what was I talking about?
We were having a good time, and I'm already I'm seeing questions from the fans, so I'm like, well, no,
I
you're
just had
good.
one question while we were talking about Iowa football.
I'll be right back.
What the hell happened with the offense this year already? 40, 50 points the first game? What's going on?
I don't know. We dropped 40 points, go 40 We went 40-0 against Illinois State, who's like, I mean, they're not D1 football, but they're pretty damn good D1 AA team, and then go up 13-0 at halftime against Iowa State rivals, and then blow at 2019. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I saw that offensive outburst week 1. I was like, oh, this might be the year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Also, I wanted to say, like, yeah, was there any other stories possibly from the training with Seth Rollins? Because I know you were bringing up how they do like the CrossFit. I was wondering with like someone your size, like, and build with wrestling training, and how much does that go into effect with the CrossFit and what Seth does at his school?
Dude, I was like 250 when I started, like 255. But then, like, obviously the training of football is not the same as CrossFit.
Yeah,
like
sure.
ours is like football is like explosive, heavy reps as fast as possible. Which I guess is CrossFit too, but like it's more like explosiveness, and you only doing it like one set of one, right? Versus like CrossFit's like you got to do this many and this many amount of minutes. So it's like totally. It was like more like high intensity interval training. So like me doing CrossFit, and at the time I was like changing my completely like different life habits because I was like tired of eating dairy. I was tired of eating like all the bulking stuff for football. So I went from like 250 to like 212 pounds. I got like really lean and I got really lean and jacked. So like, and it worked for a while, but I like cheese and I like,
Yep. You're talking to the right guys now.
yeah, I like, I like cheese and beef a lot. So like, and steak. So like, I started eating those stuff back again. So completely different.
So you're talking about meat. Could you tell us the story of butt meat?
Oh yeah.
GCW fans may not know. I had to hit you sideways with one question, brother.
No, everybody loves that, man. Like, so back in Nashville, there's this promo, or not this promo. There's this promotion called SUP. It was Southern Underground Pro. This guy named Dylan Hales, which he kind of he books TWE, which is in Chattanooga, and he also did SUP, but he also does like Action and SCI, which outside of GCW, that was like SCI and the Southern area was kind of like a big help for me. It's kind of where I like arrived at the party, so you could say, I guess, right? So like, so when I was at SUP, in Nashville, because I played fullback, I guess, I got a big ass. So like, it's kind of where it comes
No,
from.
it's real. It's real.
Yeah, no, it's real.
Hindquarters.
So like, they all just chanted butt meat a lot. So then it was like such a thing that I like made it into merch. So it was like, I have to find the picture. I'll have to send this. So it was like a cowboy hat, and then it was like a Simpsons like yellow ass. So it was like that. So I made a lot of money actually, like over just stickers. Like I made like almost 500 stickers. It's pretty well. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was a lot. So like some people still bring it up sometimes. It's pretty funny. I love it.
Dumbasses like me, but
I must say I never heard that when I saw that question.
It was somebody in the comments, dude. So some dumbass in the comments made this section, and you're just being a good host. So
you know what? We'll go back to the questions here real quick. Frank asks, "Hey Manders, what's your favorite move that you wish you could do, but it just doesn't fit your style or gimmick?" Hurricane run off the top ropes.
I don't know. I kind of like
that's a rough question.
Yeah, it's a rough question because like I like what I do. I mean, I guess like the one I always say is like 450 because like I know how to do it and I can do it, but like I don't know. But I also like doing the moves I do. That's why I do them.
Yeah,
because it fits me.
Are you trying to always add something new, or do you feel like you've got yourself in a comfortable position? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yes and no. I know what I like, and because like I'm not saying I'm like the most like I'm not paid Manny with studying tape, but like I've watched a lot of damn wrestling in my life. So like I feel like all the moves I do are the ones I'll probably do. It's more like the in between shit that I'm into now, where it's like, okay, like what can be the most grittiest, ruggedest stuff I could think of, and sometimes it's just like how much realness can I make this, where I make the people that are sitting there buying a ticket, paying for me and other people to watch to, make their disbelief. So it's like mostly like the little shit now, whether it's like
Yeah.
when I go for a pin, I put my forearm on their face, or like I don't know. It's like little shit now, I guess.
But that's the stuff that like makes your character right now so good, and like also like adds to like all those little improvements that I've kind of been noticing, seeing that like I love to see, especially as like I consider you like a Stan Hansen type, obviously esque wrestler. So I love to see that grittiness. Like I don't want to see a perfect 4-5-star classic. I want to just see a brawl with blood and you guys just swinging at each other, as you said, to blur that lines of the real, like the realness and disbelief of wrestling. So I think that's like really smart and perfect that you and like Mance Warner's really doing a really good job of kind of like breathing that Southern style to or back into GCW wrestling. That's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the move that you're most proud of? You know what I mean? We're going to put you in the history books one day and we're going to list out 5 things that, 5 moves that Manders has. What would be the one that you go, you know what, this one right here is one called Manders?
I mean, elephant in the room, of course it's the lariat, but like, there's a lot of people that do it, and there's also like other people before me that have done it, and you want to do it right as good as them, if not better. I mean, that's obvious, but I guess the one I like the most is like either chopping a guy or there's like this like gourd buster on the ropes I've been doing lately that like I really enjoy, where it's like you throw the guy on the ropes, like it looks so brutal and it's so devastating, but it's like they're not taking a bump, like kayfabe terms, where it's like I don't know, where it's like it's not like a superplex off the top or some driver to somebody's head, which I like all those too, but like I don't know, it's just something. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. That makes any sense. What I'm saying.
No, it does. Antoine Smith says the Stampede.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
Yeah.
Dr. Death was sick, man. And like even guys before him, like I mean, he wasn't the inventor of it. It was Bill Watts, his trainer. So it's like it just goes to show you, like wrestling has always been. It's like the nostalgic, like you think it was this guy, but when they made it, they weren't the first person that made it, but they were the most important that made it. So then you think of like other people like stealing people's stuff and doing other things like that, or like there was like a I saw it on Instagram. It was like Scott D'Amore was talking about. I mean, he wasn't the guy that first ever talked about it, but he made me remember where there's like a video where he's talking about this one wrestler talking shit about this other wrestler, and he's corny and he's cartoony and he's talking about Lou Thesz talking about Harley Race. And it just like blew my mind, where it's like Harley Race is like one of the most realistic badass motherfucking wrestlers you've ever seen in your life, but then there's somebody in somebody else's time telling somebody that they're phony and fake. It's kind of crazy. It just goes to show you.
Every generation does it,
Yep.
My generation's bitching about realism a little bit, and then the next generation will start bitching about realism or whatnot. I come from the big body era. I want all my guys to look as big of me, if not bigger, because that's what I was that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
So, things just change over time, and you know what I mean, like flippy stuff.
I'm sure I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be doing the same shit. I know I do the same shit.
Hey, you know what though? I mean, like I came from a fucking DDT
man.
was deadly.
Yeah.
You're killing it though, man. You're doing good. But Yeah, the DDT used to be a killer fucking move, and now that's not. Super kick. Super kicks like just taking a drink of water now. It don't even hurt you.
Yeah.
How did you find GCW or vice versa?
Marcus Crane.
Wow.
Marcus
That's
Crane.
a name.
Yeah. So like Marcus is from Davenport or Rock Island, Illinois, which in the Quad Cities, you got one side is Iowa, it's Bendorf and Davenport, and then the other side you got Moline and Rock Island. So when I was starting to like do the loops, so I started doing, I do SCW, which is in Davenport. It's a place where Rollins and all them started. Shane Hollister, Merrick Brave, they all started there, and then like you hear other people doing other cars in other places. There's a bunch of people doing IWA Mid-South. And when you watch like tape from Rollins and Merrick and all those guys back then, they were all doing IWA Mid-South. And Mid-South it's very subjective.
Wild.
Yeah, it's wild, right? So like, Ian's a piece of shit, but also like all these guys kind of came from there. So then when I started making the loops from Davenport to Ian's, I met guys like Mance, met guys like Sammy Callahan, met guys like, I met basically everybody. Like everybody
Murdoch.
who's who in wrestling today,
Yeah.
Murdoch, Reed Bentley, Mestizos, Nick Gage, Eddie Kingston, Homicide, the Rascals.
Workers.
Yeah, just like all these dudes. Jay Christ, just met all these guys, and it just kind of like was like, hey, this is the way. This is what they do, and then like you try to, you make it your own, and
Right.
yeah, I don't know. You just see all these workers doing these things, and you're like, well, this is what I want. So if these guys are doing this, I need to do this, and I need to do it better.
Yeah.
However that works. So I started making the rounds, doing that, and then I remember like seeing my first ever death matches. Like I remember, I've seen them in like CZW, and like I've seen tape, and you watch it. Especially like when I was a kid, like watching wrestling, like my stepdad was like big into it too. So he had like backyard wrestling tapes. So like the ones I forget what they were actually called, but like it was pretty explicit, it was pretty crazy. So like I remember seeing some of this stuff. So you see this whole other side of wrestling, and it's just like it just makes you like sink your teeth in more because it's something you don't see on television. So it's like, oh, this is amazing.
It feels special.
Yeah.
Like it feels special to watch it because you're like, look at that. Like I won't be able to be in this place, and wow, look how many people are there, and you're going, all right, this is a special night. Lucky they got it on tape. I can sit here and fucking watch it. And they're putting down work for 400, 500 people, and there's 80 people there sometimes.
Or sometimes it would be like 12 people.
Yeah. Well, I tried to dress it up.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, like
I try to count ring crew.
At Ian's, you would get like, I remember like their first anniversary, like the first anniversary show that I went to, and I was booked on it, and I think it was like Billy Gunn versus like Calvin Tankman and like stuff like that, like people like that, and I just remember watching it. I'm just like, this isn't a flea market in Memphis, Indiana, where it's in a warehouse body shop where half of the building has the hottest muscle cars I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, nice.
And then on the other side, you got this wrestling that like is underground. And then like you got a legendary Hall of Famer like Billy Gunn or like just like names like that. And then you're just sitting here just like, this is crazy. And it made you want to be a part of it. I don't know. I just thought it was awesome. So basically, I guess I saw Marcus Crane a lot. So then I started doing Rise of Marcus Crane. So then it got to when I started making the rounds, you start hearing about GCW.
Yeah.
So then for me, I've worked for a lot of promotions, and a lot of the promotions I've worked for in the States, are like I've had to like do ring crew at least 3 times. I used to do this thing where like, 3 strikes you're out. Where like, hey, if you can't get booked first time, there's a second time. You do the second time. Then you do the third time. Okay. Well, the third time if they don't, then I guess you're on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I'd like, get that bone thrown to me finally because I would bust my ass on ring crew. Because like I would try to make it like, well, I ain't wrestling tonight, but if I'm at ring crew and I bust my ass on it, that's my show.
Mm-hmm.
So then like, finally you get that bone thrown to you. When you got that bone finally thrown to me, I made sure no one could fucking take it away from me.
Right.
So like, that's kind of how I like started doing GCW. I think it was after like the 5th or 6th time, Brett was like, "All right, Cowboy, let's do something." That's kind of how it went, something like that.
I wanted to ask, like, around that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, John.
No, you're good. Your turn.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to ask, like, around that time, like, as you were kind of going up training, was there anyone that you kind of looked at that was going to, like, you used as an example to push yourself to be better than? Because, like, someone that, like, I don't know, like, not a feud wise or anything like that, but just someone like you were wanted to push yourself to be better than because you knew they were going to be great and you could do that, if not better, at the time that you were kind of training.
Yes. You know who it is? This guy's like, it's like Mance Warner and Matt Justice.
I was getting ready to say, Mance.
I was gonna say,
Mance is the one that.
Yeah, those are the two that I gravitate towards, and I was like, damn, I like these guys, and like they're great, and I want to be just like them. It's kind of like a little brother, big brother kind of thing. So those were the guys.
Dude, I'm happy to see Justice back. That really means a lot.
That's my man, dude.
Dude, he's so fucking nice, that dude.
He's so cool, dude.
So going on with your character, would you say your choice of being a cowboy was a natural one, or did you feel like you needed to work in on it a little bit? I mean, what I'm saying is, it's you. That's what I was hoping for. It's just you, but bigger.
It's me just turned up to 11.
I was wondering about that. So were you country boy in Virginia, Maryland, DC area there or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I had to ask.
It's pretty funny because like Brett will make fun of me for it, and I'll sit there and I'm just like, and Brett knows, but it's like and I ain't even a big fan of like Brantley Gilbert, but like there's a song he has where it's like country must be countrywide, where it's like it's everywhere, dude. And I've lived in a lot of states. I've lived in Texas. I've lived in Ohio. I lived in Iowa. I've lived in Maryland. I lived in Virginia. Now I live in Tennessee, where it's like I've seen some places and I've seen some things, and I've been all over. Been to every single state except Alaska and Idaho, where it's like,
wow,
it's everywhere, bro. Especially past the Mississippi. Once you pass the Mississippi, dude, it's all
different.
It's all like that.
Where were you at in Ohio? I'm from Ohio. That's why
I was in Dayton. So
okay, yeah, you were on the other side of the state. I know where you're at.
I was like, I moved to Dayton after like a year, maybe a year and a half, after training Black and Brave, because like I was doing Ian so much, and in those days you had Rockstar Pro, which was in Dayton on Wednesdays, and then Thursdays you had Ian's, and then Friday was like AAW, which was Danny, and then like Saturday and Sunday you had like whatever you had. Sometimes Ian would run on Saturdays and shit like that. So I was like, if I want to make this into something, I got to be wrestling all the damn time. And Ohio and Iowa get like the same treatment where it's like people think Ohio is Iowa and people think Iowa is Ohio, because 4 letters and whatever. People are stupid. I don't know. So flyover states, I guess. But then like
you're muted, John. I think you were saying the same thing I was thinking. Too many O's.
Too many. I was just saying. I always say it's the same cornfields. And I feel like we have bigger deer, but we won't fight. We won't fight about that. Right now.
I don't know about that.
Oh, man, we got some bucks out there. 12, 14, 16. Bro,
you're crazy.
We'll get into that on another
All right,
show.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
There's
So
a fight
we
with this. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so like it's just like it just made sense where it's like, you know, if you want to be a damn wrestler, like when you want to wrestle all the time, so like yeah, go live in Ohio, dude. Like
yeah.
you know, when you hear stories from other people in the territory days and just kind of doing that, you're like, well, makes fucking sense. I don't know. Don't have to twist my arm on that. It seems pretty explanatory. So I just like, just picked a bunch of matches up because it's like if you want to be good, you got to wrestle more, especially in those days where it's like, I just want to be a sponge. So
yeah, just putting in the hours.
Ohio was a great time. I lived there for like a year. It was awesome.
We're all Hicks. It's all right
man,
though. We all have good hearts. You know what I mean? So your entrance song fits very well. Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. Were there any other songs that were in the running to be chosen over this one at any time?
I don't know about if they were songs that were better, but I did have other songs when I started. Actually, the guy who like really sold me on Wanted Dead or Alive was Silas Young. Silas had a promotion in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. It was called MKE, and from Milwaukee to Iowa, it's like 3 hours, if not even. I think it's even less. But I was living in Dayton at the time, so it's like 8. So when I moved to Ohio, I would still like make those like loops because like I liked Silas. Obviously, he was like a Ring of Honor legend, and I like eventually got to work him at AAW, which was cool. But anyway, that's where I first met Perch, the ref, Dan Perch, the ref. That's where I first met Dan.
Love Dan.
So that's a funny lore where it's like here he is now with us, and we're both in the. It's just cool to have like those stories. But then like I don't know, I just started molding it in myself and started finding stuff. And Silas is basically like, you should come out to Wanted Dead or Alive. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense. And I started thinking about it. And I was like, well, this is literally me to a T, especially right now. So, and then just kind of picked it ever since. Other songs I used to have was like, it was Back in Black, AC/DC.
Wow.
Because
that one.
Because at Iowa, when you would come out of the Swarm, they'd play Back in Black. So when I started making the rounds, and first went to Ian's, Ian says this dumb story. I'm gonna try to use his impression, so see how this goes. He'd be like, "Damn kid, nah, you can't use that. You can't use Back in Black. That's Chris Candido. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I couldn't do it because, Ian was a big ECW mark. So like, and obviously Chris Candido is fucking sick, and he worked at Ian. So like, I was like, all right, that makes sense. So then I started like figuring out other songs, and it's actually funny. It was actually going to be. I was actually thinking about Simple Man because,
wow,
that's like me. And that's like, yeah. I don't think Mance really knows this, but fuck him anyway. So, me and my mom, like, this sounds cheesy and heartwarming or whatever the hell you want to call it, but like, that's like my mom's like favorite song for me. So like,
oh yeah, you can't put that together.
It's like our song or whatever. So like, once I started making the rounds, and Mance was coming out to what was he coming out to? It's a Leonard Skinner song.
Simple Man.
It wasn't Simple Man. It was the one before. I think it was like Saturday Night Special. Is what he used to come out to. And then right when I was starting to like, I was trying to figure out songs. I was like, let's do Simple Man. Ian, we did a show that night or whatever, and Ian, basically says in the meeting, he goes, telling Mance that he should come out to Simple Man. So then it was like, oh damn, he took my song. I was gonna do that one. So then now he took it, and then the rest is history. It's kind of wild how it works. I mean, they're all big songs. It's not like it's
So
But
that's
how-
when we knew he was a scumbag back then. That's when it all started. We get it now.
You know what? I have a song that I would have loved to see you come out to, Manders. The 90s
Let me hear
country
it.
in me would have loved to see you come out to Friends in Low Places.
Oh
I feel you
God!
could have
Right
walked
now.
it out beautifully.
Rock
You
Brooks
could.
rules.
It has a good cadence. It's not like you're walking fast for it or anything. So I mean,
It's great. It's a good song. The documentary they had on him on Netflix, I think it's during
I
the
haven't seen
pandemic. It's pretty good. And then he had like a concert in like Bluegrass, Iowa, which is like 10 minutes south of Davenport. It's like Hicktown, USA. And for some damn reason, I thought that it was actually going to be Garth Brooks. Like, not like actually like him being at the concert because it was during the pandemic era, but I thought it
Mhm.
was him like playing live at like his house on a record.
Oh,
But it was just like his greatest hits all into one fucking like movie kind of theater thing. And I'm sitting here just
yeah.
like, it's like, this is bullshit. I've seen this. All of it. I got real drunk on Busch Light, so it made it better, I guess.
So I was gonna say it's good to hear a happy ending to that story. And then Great One just asked, didn't Warren Veit come out to Friends in Low Places? I believe you're correct.
Yeah.
But Mr. 115 gets the song, and then hey.
I like that. So
Once you
that's
hit
what,
150, you could just take shit. Like you're allowed to. You've hit that.
Also,
part of the
Warren
mountain.
Veit's an Iowa State fan. He don't get to pick that.
Gotcha.
Oh.
See.
Kiss my ass.
Knew there was something wrong with him. Jeez. Some listeners may be new to your work. I'm guessing most are not. They're very God, I can't talk. You had me laughing now. I'll get right to it. What 3 matches are you most? Don't you start? He starts smiling or laughing, and it makes me smile and laugh. I don't know why. Yeah, is there 3 matches you're maybe proud of? You want to tell people, hey, these are the ones you want to check out?
That's a tough one. I used to like worry about this kind of shit a lot, especially when I was younger. And then I started getting to the point where it was like, I don't really give a shit because, and here's why. It doesn't mean like I don't care about my craft. I don't care about my work. I take pride in my work and I care about things like this. But like, as long as the fans are cool with it and they think it's sick, it don't matter what the damn I think about it.
Right.
So, because at the end of the day, if they're cheering or they're booing, it's like, damn, okay, well then maybe my intuition's wrong. I don't know. But no, I'll just think about it. Let me see. Obviously any matches.
I'll make it. I can make
Go
it
ahead.
easier on you. Is there one you walked out of the ring and went, fuck yeah, we nailed it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whoa, what bad? Whoa, I thought I was gonna seize. Any of the matches with me and Mance, it's just easy. Because I hate him so damn much. The me and Jordan Cruz match recently was pretty sick. I enjoyed that one. The one in LA. I don't think many people thought. I remember I walked out, or before I was about to walk out, Brett walked up to me and he goes, "It's gonna be good, huh?" And I said, "You damn right, it's gonna be good." And I walked out, and then hit the music, and that was a pretty good one. I thought. I liked me versus Rena too, like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think me and Rena, that one recently. That one really in my brain has been like. I was talking about these me and Mance matches, and I was like, man, dude, I don't know, dude. I think the Reno one's better. I don't know. It's just my.
I think they're good in their own different ways because of what was
Yeah,
involved in each
it's all
situation.
flavors of
Definitely
ice
for
cream,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Some days I like chocolate, some days I like strawberry. I don't know.
I wanted to follow up on that. Like, I don't know, I don't know if this one's a touchy thing or not. Like, so if you totally disregard it, that's fine. But you were kind of talking about how
it's herpes. Don't let him bullshit you. It's full blown herpes.
Is it IPAs? Because you're not gonna get a good.
I'm
answer.
only one in it. I'm only one in it.
I'll just fuck with you. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. So you were talking about how you said like it doesn't matter what I think, it's what the fans like, and if I did my job of making the fans either enjoy that match or not like me during that match. One that kind of just stuck out immediately I go to was the TOS 666, the you and Atticus, obviously how that crowd in between flips and as a wrestler, and especially in that kind of situation in that tournament, as you said, like if you don't know how you do your job, you're getting called out. And like that situation, it's like immediately you guys kind of you did a really good job of flipping the script and adapting to what the crowd wanted at that time. What was kind of like the thoughts going on in the brain during that time?
Atticus was really hot at that time. And I don't think I was at that time, I knew who I was, but I didn't really know who I was, if that makes any sense. Yeah. And I was still trying to figure out like who I was. And some people get it faster, better than others, whatever. Everything happens for a reason. And at that time, when that happened like that, I was like, in my brain as it's going on, I was like, what the fuck did I do wrong? Right? And then you could see it on my face where it's like, damn, they're not cheering for me. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. But that's where, like, I think being weathered a little bit, where like me now, if that happened now, I would have leaned so far left or whatever side of the extreme, and I would have been a total piece of shit because I don't give a flying fuck. I think that's more of it now than it was back then, where I do care. I don't know how to put it. Like, I think just the experiences of like that, if it was now, where it's like, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, if it's planned to be where like you're the one that's supposed to be this, good guy or whatever, and obviously if you go out there and it flips wrong, then it's like, well, damn, you must have did something wrong, right? Where I don't know, it's all situational. I'm trying to.
I didn't mean that in a way like you did anything wrong. Like I agree with you. It was just like lightning, and it was just like perfectly bad timing. Yeah. It was like it was just kind of crazy to see it happen in real time.
He was over like Rover at that time. He really was. He really was. It was crazy. He was good too. Atticus was really good. He is really good. He just, I don't know. Some people figure it out, I guess, faster than others, and then it's all like a roller coaster, right? In wrestling, where it's like you get a hot hand and then you don't, and then you make one decision and then it might change your outcome of this and this and this, and it's awesome. I think I enjoy the ride. It's kind of like life, so it makes you learn.
Yeah.
It can't all be great. It can't all be bad. So.
What is your favorite venue?
Thank you.
Sorry, I jumped on you there, Manders. Which one do you like there? Some have said Harpo's. I've heard Talia before. I've heard.
Yeah, they're all great. I like Harpo's. I like Talia Hall. I like the Basement East. I used to like the Voltage Lounge. I never got to see Game Changer World. I really wish I did. I had opportunities back in the day when I first started. I could have rode with the Rejects, but I never did.
Interesting.
Never thought of that little trio and team wise.
Yeah, right. I fucking love Reed and John. Those guys rule. John could be a little cunt, but I like Reed.
Man of 100 words there, Murdoch. He's always talking,
Dude, and he's
Can't
so
stop
good
talking.
at it. He's so good at it. I love John, dude. Me and John could
He's great.
It's kind of the same shit with Mance, where it's like I could like not talk to John for months on end or weeks on end, days or whatever. I could talk to him every day. I don't know. We could go out there and it's just like it's like where we left off last. It's just you just know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's rare to do today because not many people can do it like that anymore. They just can't. Whether because they just don't or they get anxiety. I don't know. Not many people do.
I'll mention this and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's nice that I hadn't seen him for a while. And when you see him, he's got that shit-eating grin. Like he's happy to see you. He'll get a shit-eating grin on his face. I'm like, yeah, that's my boy. He's always happy. I like him.
Yeah.
All right, then. On your travels, have there been any cities that you feel you could call home? We're
I'd
giving
say
you the rough ones
Chicago.
now. We were trying to ease you in. Hour 2 gets rough now. So
Hour 2 gets rough now.
Yeah,
Is that how long we've been doing this?
No, we're on hour.
We're at 105.
Don't
There's
me.
550 of us in here right now.
Damn.
Yeah, man. We love you. Hey, man, how often do you get a whole microphone, all GCW fans? You got like what? You got a venue's worth of people in
it's
here.
Rare. Bro. It's rare, yeah. No, it's rare because I don't really talk much and I don't really ask to talk much.
Yeah.
I'd say Tally Hall, or not Tally Hall. I'll just say Chicago. Chicago's probably like second home. I'd say like the Southern Indiana area because of Ian's.
Yeah.
Those two. I'd say like Nashville and kind of chat now, where like because I live here now and all the years too. I don't know. Those are like the big three I'd say. Besides Iowa, like Iowa's kind of obvious, but
little flat.
little flat.
Little flat. We got it in our old area too in Ohio. Just flat. It's just Appalachian foothills or flat. That's all it is.
Then it goes. Whew.
That's it.
What happened?
Dude, I'd have people come to visit and they weren't used to the foothills, and my friends would get sick because they're not used to riding the hills. They'd be like, it's like a roller coaster. Yeah, man. That's kind of funny. A lot of people don't talk about it. People who grew up in flatlands, if they go drive on hills for more than half an hour, they can get sick and feel weird from it.
Oh shit, that explains a lot for me because when I moved to Tennessee and I moved to kind of near the Chat area, I would like be making comments to Sawyer being like, is it just me or is it really fucking hilly? And I'm like, driving this big ass truck going all these hills. And I'm like, dude, this is not what I'm used to. I was like, I really miss like I-80 and then just kind of just cruising.
Yep.
And then people look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, nah, dude, like I love it when it's straight.
Well, yeah, because you're out in these curvy hills and shit. You have to anticipate your speed on turns,
Dude,
and you gotta okay, I can, you're like, I can take that at 35 and okay. We're talking about wrestling. I'm sorry, guys.
No, dude, I can talk about the open road like all night. Yeah.
This makes me want to. I was just about to say, this makes me want to start like, dude, we got to start a side project on the road with Manders and Sam.
Like Ride Along was kind of cool when WWE did it, and I think if this is so left field, but if Brett wanted to do a Ride Along GCW style, and we did me and Sam Stackhouse, that would be, I think it'd be pretty entertaining. Probably more.
That would be awesome.
It'd be more for Sam, but yeah, I don't know.
Dude, I love Sam. Sam is the kindest, best-hearted guy you could ask for. Funnier than hell. Good conversationalist. Yeah.
He I'm pretty sure this is right. He told me this lore about him. He used to be a truck driver, so it explains a lot.
Yeah. He was a long haul guy.
Yeah, so it explains a lot. Sam rules, so good for him.
Biggest holy shit moment for Manders. What would that be in ring?
Well, I can't think of myself. The one I can think of is Sam doing the dive in LA when we did the scramble a couple LA shows ago. That's the one I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know why. When Sam hit that dive, fucking UCC went bananas.
Same thing when he first did that in Vegas against Cardona.
Yeah.
Like, that whole place fucking exploded. And like, what in the world?
It was awesome.
Yeah. Dude is an athlete.
Yeah.
Like, he is an athlete. To be backflip, the physics of moving all that weight takes tremendous leg strength and core strength.
Yeah.
Dude. Worst bump taken. I'm sorry. Did you even answer that question? I was trying to
squirreled. Think. Shit, I can name worst bumps I've taken. Fucking holy shit moments for me. The one where this was recent too. When I wrestled Tremont at Asbury Park, and I hit him with that damn chair safely, and it went through his head. And
Safely.
it's like sitting through his head, and it's opens up in his head.
Yeah.
It's not perfect.
And I was just like, this fucking psychopath. God damn it. Another holy shit moment is when Mance chipped my tooth in Japan.
Yep.
If you can see it, I
Yeah.
was fucking pissed. And apparently I chipped his tooth.
Just
So
don't
I
talk
heard.
to Joey's dentist.
Well, the more you're in GCW, the more it chips away at a tooth. It's like getting a teardrop. It's like getting a teardrop tattoo. It just chips
Somebody
away
made a
at you.
comment to me being like, "Oh, now you and Joey are like brothers." And I just was like, I think mine looks a little better, but I'll take it. That's cool.
Yeah, you guys be chip and chip.
Yeah. Worst bump ever taken?
Yeah.
It was. I can name 3. I don't think any of them were at GCW though, which is fine. It's fine. I'm just
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
fine. That's good. Yeah.
trying to think of ones at GCW that were terrible. When I got thrown off the stage by John Wayne and went through a barbed wire door, that sucked. At Harpo's, that sucked. That wasn't fun. Because that's a big ass stage. I didn't realize how big that stage was.
Wasn't there a
Now, is it-
haystack bump on like one of the backyards? Or
Oh yeah, yeah, it was. There was.
off like the top of a truck or something like that?
Yeah. There was one at Revolver where I went through a pane off a scaffold.
Oh, that
And
one is pretty
I
crazy.
still got a piece of glass in my back. It's not big, but like it was like 6 months ago. It's still there.
Wow.
Is
Yeah,
it one of the ones that you can roll over in the middle night and notice it, or no?
No, but it depends
Yeah.
on the day though.
Oh,
It's more like day 3 or 4 on the road. I'm just like,
yeah.
okay, I can feel this. This sucks. But like eventually I guess it'll come out. It's crazy because like I can say that out loud and like to me it's like fine and you guys get it because you guys know. And then like the 500 people, whoever hell's in here is probably like, this dude's a fucking psycho.
We're at almost 600 now, by the way.
The 600 people are wondering like, Steve's a little nuts.
I'm about to say
No,
John's
no,
next
this is
question
par for
might
the
fit
course,
right
guys.
in.
Yeah, here's my next question. Do you have any nagging injuries right now?
No, I'm good though. Other than that, like I feel great. No, like I'm not lying through my teeth. I swear. You kind of figure out like, I mean, I played sports my whole damn life and like, yeah, obviously you learn how to be a meathead and you learn how to work out in the gym and all that kind of stuff, but you also like really learn how to recovery. So like, there's like tricks to the trade where I've figured out. And then when you get on the road, it's a whole nother animal that you have to learn and adapt and do the same things. Like, so like little nicks and kinks along the way where you figure out and like, I feel great. So, I mean, there's some, yeah, fortunately, like I haven't broken any bones, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And like all that kind of stuff. So, haven't torn anything.
Nice.
So, got some scars though.
I'm about to say probably lots of
Beauty
scars.
marks.
I got
Beauty
some scars, but every scar tells a story. So,
yeah.
All right, there's a question. Sorry, I want to get to great ones.
No, go for it. Because I got I'll be right back.
All right, I want to hear the answer on this one.
Right.
Great one asks how the entrance from Wyoming where the horses wouldn't cooperate. Explain a little bit about that.
So it's funny because like, so the horse guy was his name was Kirby, and he had 2 horses. One was the Dusty, and I forget the other one's name. And Dusty was the female horse, and then the other horse was a male horse. and they were very like always around each other. Like if one wasn't around the other one, it would have a fit. So when Dusty didn't have the other horse around, when the other horse was around for Dusty, Dusty would kind of get kind of antsy. And for the last like 2 hours before I did that, I was riding Dusty all over the Laramie complex, so it was pretty sick.
Freaking joyride.
Wait, a horse named Dusty? I just came back.
Yeah, a horse named Dusty.
Oh, I love it already.
Yeah. So she was sweet. And I was riding her for like 2 hours, like legit. And when you go through that horse barn in there, it was still daylight. So when you like go through the crowd, like you get like that shade and darkness.
Mhm.
So it's like this horse, if you think about it, and me, we were walking in the sun, and you go into the horse trailer, and you see like GCW fans and a bunch of people screaming.
Yeah.
So it probably freaked out the horse. And
Yeah.
you know, it's not like Dusty had blinders on. This isn't AEW fancy where you know you got the horse trainer holding on to the reins and you got
Right.
blinders on. So
Yeah.
like, of course, when you walk in like that, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think that would be a problem. And she walked in, she saw that, got spooked, and just spun and took off. And I'm sitting here like, oh, I don't got any spurs on. I got boots, wrestling boots on. If I pinch her, you know, and try to tell her to stop and pull my reins back, it's not going to really work. Like, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she just like, she was just going nuts. And I was like, well, I got to get off. So I'm like trying to hop off this big ass horse. So.
Are you fairly comfortable on horses or no?
I mean, I ain't no like pro rodeo superstar, but like
Right.
I know how to ride a horse.
I was offered one time good money to break in horses, and I heard what the job entails. I'm like, you're out of your damn mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, man, you're about 265. That's a perfect size to be breaking in horses. I'm like, yeah, that's the perfect size to fall right on my ass.
I mean, if you think about it, right? Steer wrestlers in rodeo, they're about 250, 260, and they
Yep.
jump off the damn horses onto bulls. So I don't know. Maybe that's my other calling. I don't know. Steer wrestling.
That's a young man's game, right?
Give it a try. Cole Radrick's got the demolition derby.
Yeah.
I would like to see Manders at a rodeo. Try it out here.
Oh yeah.
I actually went to one with Sawyer like a couple weeks ago. They had one down here in Athens, Tennessee. I mean, it was no like PRCA or like PBR, but it was like the independence, honestly, of rodeo, and it was pretty sick.
Nice.
How did Sawyer take to all that?
Oh, she loves it.
Slowly acclimating.
Yeah, no, she loves it. She loves Western stuff.
No shit.
Really
Yeah,
does.
I saw her in camo one time in a picture on Twitter, and I'm like, wow, he must really be. She's a happy woman. He's out there,
Yeah,
fucking around with the ducks and the geese out in the swamps.
yeah,
She's
she
like,
loves.
I
she
love
loves
this
that.
now.
She loves that outfit.
Oh my goodness.
While we're
We
talking
don't-
about it, can you? Oh, sorry.
Nope, go for it because we're talking about it.
I just wanted to like hear your thoughts on her return at homecoming and hear the crowd and hear the crowd react and seeing the cool moment that she got to wrestle with Jordan Grayson, Vipress, and Megan Bain. Sorry.
No, there's two kind of pops. I feel like not just in wrestling, just like in sports, right, or whatever. There's like you get like the pops, and then you get like ovations.
Yeah.
And I ain't like you can hear it on the audio. It's not like it's just only live only. Like out of everybody that showed up that night, the second person to her was like Justice, right? And like hers was night and day. 13 out of 10. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It kind of made me cry a little bit because it's just like, because I know how much this means to her, and I know what like kind of day she was having, just being nervous, and I know like the bullshit, and just like seeing that it was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
And she'd been deficient. Her wrestling levels were so low for so long that she needed that adrenaline. She needed that, Everything
13 out
came
of
with
10. Ultimate Warrior rocket ship fuel, whatever you want to call it. It was sick, man. It really
Well,
was.
you know what I always say to you, behind the scenes, like just send her our best. Absolutely. We absolutely love her here. So
real fast too, while we're talking about that, we have been at the bottom of our screen promoting the website where we could you guys could buy the shirts. Sawyer Wreck working with Safe Horizons. All the proceeds go to Safe Horizons, as it says down low. So yes, please check that out. Look into that shirt and helping Safe Horizons out.
Yeah.
Also, I heard that there's quite a few people have been getting those shirts really quickly too. And that's always a big deal on the independent scene. That's
damn right it is.
I think they just heard about it Saturday. Like one of our viewers last Tuesday is like, yeah, just got mine in today. It's like, whoa, like they just promoted it on Saturday. So that's crazy.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, it looks cool too. That's a good thing you guys were doing. I definitely wanted to make sure we not just put it at the bottom, but said it out loud for everyone listening.
Awesome, you guys did that.
Okay, Steve. So I need you to help us out. Let's just pretend that you're getting ready to perform at the UCC in LA. Can you walk us through a day? Like what time are you arriving at the UCC? What's going on there? You're running through some shit in the ring. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Trying to see how do I approach this where it's like
what in the hell are you doing in LA that makes you second guess your words?
I'm just like calm as a cucumber.
Yeah.
Like you would think I'd be this like insane, intense psycho, smack on my face. I mean, I do smack my face before I walk out, but like
yeah.
Like I remember my days of
yourself.
Oh yeah, it ain't like that, but it's pretty damn close. Prices is a whole nother world. Prices reminds me of the days when I played football.
Yep.
And those are the same, that's the same prayer we always did. And it was the same it's the same attitude and everything. I think for me now, I'm so like nonchalant where like once I walk out the curtain, then it's a whole nother world. Or when the bell rings, obviously it's completely different. But like I keep it all in me now because I know like once I'm out there, it's all bets are off. So it's kind of like calm before the storm kind of thing. So it's kind of like thunder rolls, like Garth Brooks, the anticipation, and then bam. So
that's when the adrenaline hits you.
Yeah, a lot of it's like like I'm visualizing a lot. Like what I want to do, what I'm gonna do. I know it's gonna be different out there the more I think about it, but like it's still like if you have some of that, like it'll help you when you're out there. A lot of it's like breathing, exercises and like stuff like that, and then a lot of it's kind of just also hearing the crowd throughout the show, seeing what it's like, so I know like, hey, they're into more of this and they're not into that, and trying to like think that way too, because like you got to see what everybody else is doing. Because if I go out there and I do the same shit if I'm doing the same shit that somebody did a match ago, one, I don't fucking care for that person, and two, I think the fans are dumb. Like it's like that's like the team aspect stuff that like reminds me of football in a way where like yeah, you want to have a match and you want to kill it, and I'm gonna kill it more than the person that was before me and after me, but I'm also not gonna do
well, someone takes a dive off the stage, you're not going to take a dive off the stage at the next, on your match.
Probably not.
You're giving each other their space.
Yes. And I think more people should be like that.
I've seen Speedball's the king of that. Like every time I watch the show, I see Speedball's head poking out and watching
Speedball
that.
Is the king.
He's like observing the crowd for his match later, which is really good.
Speedball is the king of it, man.
See, I think one thing we noticed with you, and you're like how I think maybe your feelings start to approach is like we've noticed like a comfort level of that you have in the ring now, where it's like not really thinking, you're just out there and enjoying the moment, as you said, reacting to what is happening and just going for it. And I think that comfort level has shined throughout this last year of not just GCW, but all these other companies have been working as of late. And I think that's why you said you're calm, because like the thinking's kind of gone now. That's like where wrestlers really start to click and showcase what they can do. And I think maybe that's what maybe something that you feel, or do you not feel as comfortable as maybe I'm making it out to be?
No, B, you're 100% correct. 100% correct. That is totally exactly what it is. Because it's like, I don't know if it's because, it's just like anything, right? It's like repetitions. If you do it amount of times, like, you're going to get better at it because you learned from your mistake the last time, or you try to, like consistently at least. And you're going to have your ups and downs, right? It's not like Metallica came out every night and tore the solo of one up, right? Like, but like 9 times out of 10, they hit it pretty good. So it's like having the instincts, or like you played football, and like I always related to that because like that's what I did my whole life. So like I might not remember 1,000 plays or whatever, but like I once I'm out there, I do know it. Like and I've
Like,
done it so many
where you're
times.
supposed to be, what you're supposed to do, and then you just have to. That's a very good comparison. You react to what the offense is giving, and you react to what the fans are giving you in the ring. I didn't even think about that correlation. That's a good way to think about that.
Because it's like, whether it's offense or defense or whatever, like if I know I'm in cover 3 and I'm hitting hook curls just 10 to 12 yards, I'm not really thinking I'm going 10 to 12 yards. I just know the marks, and I just know it because of instincts of doing it so many times. So it's the same thing where like if a guy gives me a drop kick or whatever, or Hurricane Rana, or I don't know, like if somebody gives me a Hurricane Rana, I know when they grab their legs and they pull, I know I'm swimming them through so they don't land on their head, or or I guess in kayfabe terms, like somebody's trying to punch at me, I know I'm going to duck it. I don't know.
Yep.
So
Outside of what you were just saying there, are there any other rituals that you go through before you get into that ring? You said breathing. You were saying
if I'm bleeding, I'm definitely having a beer before I walk out.
smart. Smart.
Yeah. If I know it's going to be wild, I'll definitely have a beer or two. Yeah. Which is crazy because it's like in football days, like I drink before the game. That's like so frowned upon. Like, what's wrong with you? But it's just a different form of entertainment, I guess. It's not like comedians. I mean, comedians take shots and drink beer before they walk out. And
yeah,
I don't know. I say, did it like what are like the famous running backs like say like in high school or something? He like drank a bunch of drinks, like had like the best game of his career that he's ever had. There, so it's like
that's crazy. I don't know about that one.
The Sunderland might have been not helping, but he didn't feel the pain. That's for sure.
You guys ever heard of a guy named Matt Roth?
Is he the Vikings? Did he play for the Vikings?
I think he played for the Dolphins. He might have played for Minnesota too. But anyway, he was a lineman at Iowa, like back in like 2008. He's just a bad dude. Like, and like night before games, he would like somehow sneak out of the hotel, which the hotel and the hotel from Kinnick Stadium is like 30 minutes away. And like Kinnick Stadium's kind of like in downtown Iowa City in a way. So like for somehow in some way he would escape the hotel the night before, go drink, get belligerent drunk. They can't find him. Coaches and stuff would, eventually find him, get him going, wake him up, and then he'd go kill it and have like 2-3 sacks a game. Like, Matt Roth was wild. So.
Oh, I was wrong earlier. It wasn't beer. It was cocaine. Yeah, I forgot. Like that was just like a story last week. Like some running back, like some big time running back, did cocaine before high school game and like just went ballistic.
God.
Do you have any opponents on your radar right now?
Anybody
you wanting to work with?
I want to wrestle Matt Cardona.
There you go.
He's been calling for that one.
He's been talking so much shit, and I'm so sick of his shit. So when he came out in AC and he put himself in the damn ladder match, I just was like, we're not doing this today. We're not doing this today. This is not.
You know what I'd love to see? I would love to see you decide storyline that you would like to pull Mance back from who he was. He's had enough fun. He's fucking around. He's destroyed his team. He's destroyed himself. His friend has to go, look, man, I mean, we've done it now. We've had our fights even, but this isn't the Mance Warner that I know. This ain't the Mance Warner that's going to go far. He's destructive, whatnot. And then, you know, you spend 10 shows getting that ass whoop just trying to reach your friend and go, man, we got to do this again. I've always thought it'd be good to put you in that face situation where you're like, you know what? I ain't going to leave my friend here. You can beat the shit out of me, but unless you kill me, I'm standing back up again. So I don't know. It kind of fits your character too. You don't back down.
No, it does. And I used to be like that when it was all happening with Mance. And it's like,
yep,
I can talk the sense out of him. I can do it. Like, I know he can, but dude, he's so far gone now.
Right. I love it. I love it all. I love it all. It's been such good work between all of you. And like I said, having Justice back, just cherry on top. So we're looking forward to what's going to happen here because
that is the cherry on top. That is the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any, are
Matt
there any wrestlers? I'm sorry, bud. I interrupted you there. What did you say?
No, I said Matt's the man, dude.
Yeah.
It's great to have
I think
back.
I had a delay for a second, unfortunately, so that was kind of fucking with me. You talked about Sam for a second.
This much Wi-Fi. I'm surprised I've had good Wi-Fi this whole time because I live in bumfuck nowhere, RV park. So like,
thoughts and prayers carry you far, man. Who? I know you talked about Sam. Do you have any other road trip buddies?
Effie.
Mm-hmm. And
Effie.
Which one's
I mean,
driving?
it was. Fuck.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I would like it to be me. Most of the time, it's not. Effie is an insane driver.
Yeah,
he's awful. The worst.
So you're not catching any sleep in the passenger seat.
So bad, it's so good.
Oh, man just jinxed his Wi-Fi earlier. Now Effie's controlling it.
Yeah, Effie must have jumped.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, what were you got cut off a little bit there. You're saying like he's so bad?
He's so bad, it's so good. Like he's such a reckless driver that it's so entertaining that I'm just like, all right, okay, Taylor. Like Effie can do no wrong, man. He really can sometimes. I love
he drives like a roller coaster.
Sometimes
I like that.
Dude, it's crazy, bro. It's awful.
Let me ask the question that I got via DM from someone who didn't want to give their name out. They said the Second Gear crew have won tag team championships at AAW, PWR, and MLW. We're missing GCW from that list. Right now, tag teams are hot in GCW. Could we see SGC together in a GCW ring anytime again?
Well, I'm pretty sure SGC was GCW tag team champs. It was Justice and Mance.
I'm gonna have to DM him back.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, when you were reading that, I was like, maybe he meant like a version with you. That's why I was kind of confused there.
I don't know. Yeah, I should have checked the history on that one.
So, yes, the answer is yes. It'd be great to see me and maybe Justice as GC champs and GCW.
Yeah,
but you never know, man. See what happens. Maybe it's me and Sawyer Wreck.
I was just about to say we were talking
100%.
about that last week. We really kind of enjoyed that tag team.
We talked to Brett about that
chemistry. Yeah, it's like
you talked to
the chemistry connected.
Yeah. He comes on the show about every 3 or 4 shows, and we were talking about how much we like your team, and same thing. How fun, GCW dude. Tag teams are hot.
It was fun. She's an
that's kicker. A power team. You are, yeah. It's a fucking power team. I love it. All right, I got one. Who is the one person you'd love to sit down and talk to, living or dead, regarding wrestling?
Oh shit.
Take your time. This is a good one.
I think the first one comes to mind is Lemmy from Motorhead.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What's that conversation looking like?
I don't know, man. Kind
Just
of
want to meet him.
everything, really. Like music and like just life on the road. Like kind of like his stories and how he's done it. I don't know. He was like a guy that just like there's something about his like his ruggedness and about like his I don't give a shit attitude that just really made me like gravitate towards,
Interesting.
you
Huh.
know. Yeah, Lemmy's like wrestling and music really relate, and like I'd say music's probably like my third biggest thing. Um, like besides football and wrestling, so like guys like Lemmy and like Jimi Hendrix and like Waylon Jennings and I guess Waylon would probably be the other one. I probably would say Waylon too or Lemmy.
Waylon Jennings. Listen to that.
Like those guys were like I don't know. There's just something about them. I think it's just the ruggedness and just no fucks given attitude. And people told me I'm supposed to dress like this and act like this and talk like this, but why do I have to do that? I don't know. There's something about that to me that just
Dude, Waylon was wild. That boy is
Waylon was
wild.
wild.
He's George Jones level wild.
Yeah, George Jones was wild. There's another one too. There's a lot of guys like that, like or maybe like Johnny Cash is another one. Like
Just before
I
cameras were around, they were getting fucked up and having a blast.
yeah, you don't they don't make them like that no more. Maybe that's the nostalgia in me though. I don't know. Like we were talking about the conversation earlier. Maybe it's that too. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't like them. They say don't meet your heroes. So
So this is my last deep question. Then after this, we can have fun. Is there something about you or your character that you wish GCW people knew better? Or is there something you would like to set straight about who you are that you feel like maybe doesn't come across? It's a deep one, I told you. And you're a heart on your sleeve guy. So
yeah, I don't know. I think the biggest one is like I think because maybe cowboy gimmicks in wrestling have been so overdone, and they've been done so much, and it's such a romanticized kind of thing. So I think people when they see it, they like don't think it's real.
yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
And I think for a while, like people didn't see that, whether because they knew me or they didn't, or I was just lack of experience, or whatever. But like, what you see is what you get. This is me. This is who I am. This is what I do. I was, I was raised on this. I was born this way. Am I stereotyped from Texas? No, but like,
Yeah.
once I say, dude, country must be countrywide. So it's like, I don't know. I think maybe that.
I had to ask because I've told you this before personally. What I enjoy is that you have a mature character that you are still growing into.
I'm
You
only
have
30,
to let
man.
absolutely you have to let the
I'm only
wrinkles hit.
30.
You gotta let the sun hit the skin for a couple years. You know what I mean? And then the Marlboro Man comes out. So
Yep.
I think what it is also is that you were willing match in and match out to back up who you were portraying, and through that aggression and through that just persistence time over time, I feel like hey, I'm rugged, I'm a badass, and I'll show it to you. I'll put a 250-pound man on his ass right in front of your seats. So and I think that did it, because otherwise it could just be a man saying this is me and this is what I'm doing. But it does take a while to really let people sink in and believe. And
Well, you have
I
a
feel
lot of
like time
people.
does that.
You have a lot of people that, and it's not even just in gimmicks or characters or whatever. It's in anything in life, but in wrestling, let's say, you got people that are actually being a wrestler, and then you have a lot of people trying to play wrestler.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
let's be honest, when you first start, I mean, some people got it, right? Like, fucking Zilla Fatu is a perfect example where, like, it's just in his blood.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you see the kinks and you see the stuff, but, like, if when you watch the match versus me and him, you can't tell that dude's been wrestling 15 times and that's it.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, we talk
You know
about
what I
that
mean?
every match he's on. We bring that up. Like it's
Yeah,
still
dude. Like
stunning after all these times.
him and Blake was crazy.
Yeah,
That was the
Dude, I told
best. It's the best
I told
Zillin
Brett
match.
last week. I said, how in the hell could you be under 30 matches and hit the ropes so well from odd angles and shit?
Yeah,
Just to know the footwork is like, how the fuck does he know the footwork like that? It's totally natural.
yeah, it's in his blood, right? So like, it's just some people get it quicker than others, and some people got it in them, and some people don't. And like, I've been one of those people where I'm a natural, but I'm not. It like I gotta put the fucking work in, and that's been that my way my whole entire life. Where it's like, yeah, you played football, yeah, you were a good athlete, but I wasn't like NFL first overall pick. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't the 1%. Like Zilla's the 1%,
yeah.
and like. So like if you ain't the 1%, like like you got to put the work in, and even the greats still got to put the work in. Like it's like what did Kobe Bryant? It's like I put 10,000 hours in a day, or I put 10,000 hours in my craft. Where like even the goat's saying that, dude. Like you got to put the work in, and
Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes you see people that are like, yeah, they got the rawness, or they were born with it too, and I don't know. Yeah, there's people out there that are being wrestlers, and there's people out there that are portraying to be wrestlers or playing wrestling or whatever. So
that was all the difficult questions, unless you have another one in your feather there, Brent.
I just had a question, not difficult, but with the recent trip to Japan, I know it was a kind of a big deal for you. I just wanted to hear like some thoughts, some stories, anything about Japan, and like what was like? I love Japan, so like everything I hear, like anytime I get wrestled, like, and especially right after this Japan trip, I'm always excited to hear about anything about those shows.
I wasn't supposed to go initially.
What?
Nope.
So what did you get a heads up on? Like a month, a couple weeks?
Like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Too Cold.
Yeah. You know what? We haven't heard anything in a while. Usually,
no, I'm just. That was fucked up.
It's not. That is
it's something
that was what happened, correct? So I mean,
that is what happened.
But it's something way overdue, definitely for sure. Like I was kind of shocked when you said that. Like that's kind of crazy right now.
I mean, I could be wrong. I don't really know, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna ask, and I really don't care.
For sure.
But it's one of those things where it's like, it's about 2 weeks out. And even before then, a month prior, I was like, there's no way I'm on this. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like, I'm happy for my friends. I think it's sick. Good for them. Like, there's no... I mean, am I a little jealous? Yeah, sure. But, like, I'm not going to, be that upset about it. Like, I want my friends and I want my peers to succeed. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's cool. My day will come. Like, I'm not that worried about it.
Absolutely.
And, I think like that shit hit the fan, and then like not even like 48 hours later, I think Brett was like, "So you want to go to Japan?" I'm just like, "Is the Pope Catholic? Is the frog's ass watertight?"
Okay, I haven't heard that one before.
That one took a second to click in there.
Hey,
I got a bunch of them like that. It's a fat baby heavy. Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back?
Okay, we got to do a whole podcast of just this. Like, you got a book, man. You have a book ready and waiting for you right now.
Dude. Me and him need to country talk for an hour.
I just want to sit here and observe and listen. This is awesome.
God. No, you don't. You will learn things you don't need to know.
True, probably. I'll stay innocent. I'll stay innocent. Then.
Manders, you want to know the worst, shittiest trick someone pulled on me is they took fucking deer scent and put it underneath my car handle. So when I went to open my door, right? So then I'm on my way home. I'm like, I know that's deer scent, but I'm like, where in the fuck? It's on my fingers. Dude, I was sick to my stomach for 2 fucking days before I could get that shit scrubbed off my skin. I was using lava soap. I was using like everything I could, and the shit just wasn't happening.
Oh my god!
You know what we used to
there's
do?
redneck talk.
You know what we used to do to our friends when they would pass out?
Oh no.
So when they would pass out with a beer in their hand, we would put firecrackers in the bottle. So the bottle would pop and explode.
You're trying to commit murder.
No. We practiced it before. Like it wasn't gonna blow.
Game, man. Just says.
But I mean,
okay, this is a one-time story, Manders. You ever seen a cow drink a beer? So no. the cow will put its tongue out. We would lay the beer sideways on their tongue. The fucking thing would put its tongue back in its mouth and kind of just go up a little, and then it would spit the beer bottle back out. Dude, we had people coming from like 2 counties to come see a beer drinking fucking cow. Like, we'd have a keg party, and it would be like, hey man, we're half drunk. We're like, let's go watch a cow drink some beer. So out we'd go.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I never seen that one. I never thought of that. Damn.
We also lit a cornfield on fire on accident. We had a little bonfire off the side of the road, and we fucked it up.
Serious.
It got real serious because it was right after harvest, so all the corn was fucking dead. So it just went up real quick. A couple of acres went down. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. We'll get back to
which is funny because in the springtime they light the fields on fire anyway. You just excitedly started a little too early.
We just started the party early, man. Okay, easy question number 1. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, I got 2.
What you got? Let's hear it, man.
I got 2 dogs. Well, one's Sawyer Wreck's dog, and then the second one is I found this dog on the side of the road like about 8 weeks ago. It was him and I guess his 2 other, his brother and sisters, but they were both dead on the side of the road. So I found Harley. So Harley's like I think he's a cattle dog mixed with like red bone coon and some other shit probably. But
maybe a hunting dog.
Yeah, he's a hunting dog. He's a cutie pie. So I've had him for about I think like 10, 11 weeks now. So
how old?
I think he's like 11, 12 weeks old.
Like man.
Yeah,
you hit gold.
Baby.
Hit gold.
He's a baby, so like I just went to the vet with him today. He's like 18 pounds.
Yeah. So, what do they expect him to come out to be?
Oh, he's supposed to be huge, dude.
Big food, big shit. Get ready.
Dude, he fucking pooped 3 times yesterday morning. Just in the morning, 3 times.
Is he eating good? Are you eating okay?
I mean, you know, to be honest, yeah, I am eating pretty good. I have I just go to Walmart and I make all my food. Like I don't go out at all.
You prep or no?
Like it's not even prepping. It's just like I'm just, when I'm hungry, I'll just cook and eat.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it. Something about home cooking better than. I mean, as much as I like eating out, but like,
bro, chili, chicken noodle soup, homemade anything, big money saver.
And it's because like you can make spaghetti and like spaghetti's like 89 cents, and then ground beef's like $5 for a pound, but then like and then tomato sauce is pretty cheap too, so it's like it's not bad. I don't know. The last couple of days, I don't know.
Yep. I forgot to go back to something, and I want to ask you real quick because this was literally one of my main. This is literally dog shit. No, it happens. It's real. I was going to ask you who sat you down and talked to you in Japan about your character, because when you came back more aggressive, and it was such a difference that casual fans went, shit, man, that lariat's faster. He's more stoic in the ring. Like he looks more like he's not going to be moved as much. You look more confident in yourself. So I wondered if maybe an older wrestler or another Japanese guy said, look, I see what you're trying to do here. You should try this mindset.
I think just the whole experience being there and seeing stuff that I never seen before, like going to Ribera,
Yeah. Nice
and
jacket,
seeing
by the
like,
way.
yeah, it was crazy, man. I did not expect that at all in a million years.
That was awesome to see, though. I love seeing that.
It's fucking wild. I don't know, dude. I just think like I think when I was just there, I had no. I don't think I had anybody come up to me and like talk wisdom down, which I wish I would. I wish that would have happened. I think just being the whole experience of like being at Corrigan Hall and then like seeing all the like the greats that have been there on the wall, and then just like
Yeah, you're there now. Yeah.
yeah, I think just seeing all that shit, and I was like, damn, dude, like is this real? Like I've played in front of 100,000 people, and this is a whole nother. This is a whole nother thing. It's wild. I don't know. And then
Oh, it's like another level. Like a
yeah,
completely other level. Like there are levels to this shit, and you just
there are
went, "Oh
levels to
man,
this
look at
shit,
that one."
and I think like it's not. Um, Anybody could tell that I clearly want to wrestle in Japan like a lot, full time. That's like my dream. Like. I mean, I would. I'd be a liar if I told you like. Obviously, my dream is to wrestle at WrestleMania and WWE. Like, I mean, of course, duh. Like,
Right.
but like, I think like what gravitated me was like those guys like Dr. Death and Hanson and Brody and Terry Gordy and Terry Funk and Dory Funk and 1,000 other people, Austin, Sting, where they were athletes at one time in their lives and they moved to pro wrestling, and seeing them in the sports aspect and like
Uh-oh.
the sports aspect of wrestling. Oh, B's gone.
He'll be back in a minute, I think.
Oh, there
There
he is.
we are. There we go. He's not drinking on air anymore.
Oh, lame.
Oh, you're muted, my brand. You're muted. See? It happened
It
to
is.
him now. Yeah.
So I
What's
think
up,
the
brother?
sports B's back. I think the sports aspect of that, I think really gravitates towards me in the Japan style. So like wrestling in Japan and Corrigan Hall and like being near the Tokyo Dome and like Budokan and like all those places like that, it'd be pretty sick. I think that's the
And naturally, any sports person, you're going to be competitive, which means that
yeah.
probably gave you some what's the word for it? Motivation.
Motivation.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
So
I
just yeah, it's wild.
I kind of want to ask, like, not like just like what he said of like maybe advice, but what do you think's been like a big breakthrough moment in your career so far?
I'm trying to think of the one recently. There have been multiple, because it's like what John said. There's layers to this shit, and like you can go like 2 years ago and be like, oh, well, that was the moment, and then it's like, and then when you go back, it's like, no, it wasn't. It was this moment, and then you like, I'm sure in 2 years later, from now, it'd be like, oh, it was that moment, but it's like, oh no, but what about this moment? I'm trying to think like. I think one recently was I was at 16 Carat for Germany, and it was a great experience. And I get to go back there next week. I'll be in Europe for 3 weeks. I'm gonna do
Nice.
WXW, Progress, Rev Pro, and Body Slam, which is in Denmark. And
Hell yeah.
fucking I did the care weekend. I come home, right? I think we had GCW the next week or something. And the promoter from WXW messaged me and he goes, a little fun note. I'm just gritting my teeth because it was so cool. And I'm such a fanboy. Where like, He was like fun. He's like funny. Funny news for you. Gunther or Walter, what do you want to call him? Watched the whole show back, and his favorite person was you.
Oh,
Wow,
hell yeah.
that's awesome.
And
Hell yeah.
I was like, I'm like bullshit, but like, like that's sick. Like, cause like
He's a stand-up power guy.
Yeah, and
You did the same.
I remember watching Walter on the Indies, and and there's a story where he was at Revolvers, like him versus PCO. Like Sammy was trying to replicate the match that he did at
Wow.
GCW, right? So it's like on that hot run that he had. And I remember being a young wrestler, young green boy, young kid, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I remember like I wasn't really on Revolver yet, but I was like help setting up and tearing down, and like I think Walter was sitting there. He wasn't like in the zone, so like it wasn't like rude for me to come up and talk to him, but like there was a time where I could talk to him. So I walked up to him and just kind of just asked some shit, and then he kind of just like I don't know, he just kind of just like give me some advice, and I just remember that. So it's like funny, like full circle. Like he probably don't remember that, but like, just things you can like think of.
Yeah, as Great One says right now, that's a endorsement from the current WWE World Champion. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of cool.
I'm afraid to ask this question, Brant.
That's one.
Do you see it on our thing here? Okay, you know what? I'll just ask you. Fuck it. What's your thoughts on the NCAA transfer portal? What do you think, and how would that affect?
I thought
what you were doing?
I thought it was going to be way worse than what you were about to ask.
Yeah, no, that sounds like wait.
No.
Like, the story I didn't know about there. I was like, I don't know.
No,
like, go ahead,
I was afraid it would get too deep, so I wanted to kind of go. We'll touch on it.
I kind of got thick with Cole and Alec when we kind of brought all that up.
I get it and I don't. Like I like it and I don't like it. Maybe that's the indecisiveness in me. I don't know. I get it in the aspect of like, cause like when I was playing football, when I was playing NCAA football, if you were at a Division I school and you transferred to another Division I school, you had to sit out for a year. And that's bullshit.
Yep.
And
it's not fair when coaches could just go back and forth. And
no problem, right?
You guys,
that don't make no sense. So, like, I think in that aspect, like, that sucks, and they should be able to do it. But then the transfer portal of what made college football so great was like, and it kind of ruined college basketball in a way, where like the reason why, like, it even kind of ruined the NFL in a way, where like free agency, like when it wasn't a thing. Where like you could have these dynasty teams, like when you think of the eras of like, the 49ers in the 80s and 90s, or the Cowboys in the 90s, where you had these guys in these teams, like it was like they were there for life. I mean, majority. Joe Montana played for the Niners forever, and then his last few years he went to Kansas City. But like, I don't know. So like in the college football world today, where it's like, a guy 1 year can go here and then hop there and then hop there and then hop there. And it's like, isn't that what the NFL is? I don't know. But then like, also
I feel like that. Bag. Yes. And the other thing is though, I feel like that fucks with team solidarity.
Oh, of course. And loyalty and all that stuff. And chemistry.
Loyalty is a better word.
Chemistry, like all of it.
Yeah, because you're sitting around going, Hawkeyes, but only until something better comes along. That sucks,
Yeah.
And I know with Iowa, though, a lot of those guys there, they're very, I would like school or community oriented, where they come back and give to the school.
When I was there, it's kind of like a lost thing now, where like when I was there, it wasn't even the football staff. Like everybody on the football staff was there for like 8+ years. It's unheard of now. But then like it wasn't even just the football. It was the athletic department. And then it would be like the teachers. And then it'd be like GAs, or like the clerk for the liberal arts part of the school, where like they all were there for like 20+ years. I feel like that's not a thing in today's world anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but like,
On
especially
average, it's less.
yeah, on average, it's less. So like in Iowa, like, especially when like, let's be real, it's not like Iowa football is getting 5-star recruits like USC or Ohio State or Michigan, right? It just doesn't work that way. We're not the blue bloods of college football, but like we've always been no matter what though, when you come to Kinnick Stadium or when you play us, it's gonna be physical, that's for sure. And like it's the hard work and it's the tenacity and it's the attitude and it's the effort, and I think that's what kind of wraps me up in a way. That's kind of what I don't know. I think Iowa likes it that way sometimes. It sounds crazy. We're like, we don't want the 5-star kids anyway. We don't want them. And I mean, it's different now, but like when I was there, so there's just something about grit. And there's an old quote where it's like, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard. And that's true, and that does happen. But then it's like, well, what happens when hard work, when talented people do want to put the hard work in? Then it's like, okay, and I guess we're fucked. But I don't know.
The goalpost move all of a sudden.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know. It's
All
crazy.
right.
I get the portal and then I don't.
I was wondering what you were going to say about that, because you've been on the ground and then all of a sudden the portal comes in after you've been there, and you could see how it really affects because you were there before and you get to see from the outside after. And yeah, team solidarity, trust, like it just isn't what it's going to be.
I think my senior year was the last year it was a thing.
17.
Yeah, I think because the next year it became a thing, I think. And when I was there in school, that's when Northwestern finally started like the NIL thing was like they went to court for it and like became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
Easy questions. Favorite fast food?
Does Waffle House count?
It does now, buddy. Favorite fast food is it? What's your go-to comfort food?
Waffle House.
All right. Now, I hope this isn't the same answer. What's your favorite family recipe? If you fucking say Waffle House, I'm going to know. You're dialing it in. Yeah.
There's like two in my brain. My grandpa makes this old school like chicken noodle soup. That was really good when I was a kid. It just was like, because sometimes like soup in a can is just processed meat with but just like the rawness of him actually grabbing the carrots from the garden and like celery from the garden and then like using our own chickens and doing it, I think, and then getting your own chicken broth and just getting parsley off the in the field, so it's like it's kind of cool. Second one's probably it's probably this like country gravy that we used to make. It's just like, I don't know. Those are
like
probably
bread and biscuits and gravy or something.
Yeah,
like
like biscuits and gravy with like the sausage in it. So, and we would always do. So here's the kicker. We'd always instead of like pig or pork or whatever, we always did deer or venison. So.
Really? Did you mix in pork with it? Here we go with redneck talk again. Did you mix in pork with your deer meat?
Yeah, you have to, right? Because
right.
Sometimes venison is too gamey, so like you have to. Yeah.
Brant has learned so much tonight about redneck lore.
I just had venison. I had bison before. That shit was delicious. Bison burger. Bison burger was the best burger I ever had. That was so good.
Bison's great.
I had beefalo one time. It's half beef, half cow.
Yeah. What?
Fucking killer. Yeah, beefalo. Half beef, half buffalo. And they mix the meats together. It's got like a good, man.
So
it's worth it.
A lot of bison now ain't really full like plains or wood bison. A lot of them are like kind of mixed with like beef cattle. So there's a farm out here in Tennessee, which is wild. There's a bison farm. And like that not far from my house, like 30 minutes. And they're not. You look at them and you're like, I mean, damn, they're pretty big, but like they're not full buffalo or bison or whatever. So
Yeah.
but it's still kind of sick though. So yeah.
Interesting. A mix. Somebody went,
Yeah,
let's let them fuck. See what happens. Well, it gets. Hey, you know what? If you don't have cable TV, you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
We must be going into
I
hour
do.
3 now.
Hey, it's how it is. So were there any video games you dominated as a kid?
Oh, dude, NCAA or Call of Duty. Those are the two.
Nice.
How
Favorite
you feel about the
cartoon?
new NCAA? Sorry.
It's
Oh no,
sick,
that's a good
dude.
question.
I probably played too much.
It's real good.
I fucking brought it. What did I bring? I brought the Cleveland GCW SummerSlam weekend because sometimes I'll get these random hairs of fuck it, I'll drive because like I kind of miss those days, like hitting the road like that. But like when you drive a Chevy Silverado F2, or Chevy Silverado 250 HD, fucking 2024, like
Gas. That's
like
a lot of gas.
$100, dude, to fill up. So like Brett gets pissed sometimes when I say, hey, the gas is this much, and he's like, how the fuck is it that much? So he realized it when we drove from. Actually, that was the weekend. Damn. Now we're throwing a bunch of stories out. I'll just finish this one first. So like,
dude, this is your time. It's perfectly good.
No,
honestly,
we
want to know about you.
So I don't. I feel like I'm all over the place sometimes. So like, once I start going, we start having fun.
We all do it.
Sometimes I'll get these wild hairs while I'll drive, and like Brett's like, "So what's the travel this week?" And I was like, I'll fucking drive. I have AIW Thursday, so it's all fine because I know he's gonna get me back. So like, we drove I drove or whatever, and I don't even know where I was getting at. What was the fucking point, B? What was I saying here?
NCAA.
Oh, so I brought the NCAA with me. So I told Price, because Price is big in NCAA too, and I was like, hey,
yes, he is.
Yeah, we gotta. I was like, I got the game, I got the console, I brought it with me, and he's like, no shit. He's like, word, So like we played, and I beat his ass twice. So.
Oh no, I'm sure he didn't take that well.
Yeah, no, he did not. That's okay. And I wasn't even Iowa. I was like,
I was about to say, what teams did you guys play with?
He was fucking Michigan. Because he rocks. Yeah, so he.
I remember.
I know.
Yeah.
So he was Michigan, and I was like Texas A&M, and then the second game he was Colorado, and I was Kansas.
Oh, that's more fair. That's more
Daniels.
fair. He took an L on
Daniels
Colorado.
Is nice to play with.
Yeah, Daniels is nice to play with.
Yes, he is.
So yeah, so we played that, and I played Effie. Oh, this is a hit. So
here we go.
So I played Effie, and we came back from the show to the room, and I was like, I'm gonna play NCAA, and I bought a 6-pack of Miller Lite, and Effie's all like, man, you're gonna play this and not talk with us? And I was like, I mean, I'll still talk to you, but I just want to play. I'm just being a nerd. And he was like, all right, fuck it. You know what? You want to play this game? I'll play with you. He's like, fuck it, I'll play. And Effie went to South Carolina, and I'm sitting there. I'm just like, I don't know who I want to be. And he goes, come on, Iowa, let's go. And I was like, dude, you don't want me to play with Iowa because like I'll score more points with Iowa than they do in real life. So we'll make it work.
Barrett's ain't running the offense in NCAA.
No, Barrett's ain't running the offense in NCAA. It's the one called Manders. Oh, fucking! I actually liked Brian, but anyway. So I didn't like Greg Davis very much, but whatever. Anyway, fucking. I beat Effie like 77 to like 13 or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pulled the power eye the whole time.
It went to the point where Effie goes, like, I don't even want to play anymore. Allie, you play. Like trying to play. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Growing up, your favorite cartoon?
Ooh.
I heard Jetsons in the background earlier.
I was trying to figure out what cartoon that is back here.
Um, this is so on brand. It was the Cowboy Channel was on
Uh-huh.
because Kristen likes watching the rodeo, and they do this thing where it's like 100 days, 100 shows.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it is right now. I think it is Jetsons. I think you're right.
Watching
This
some
is a
3 a.m. mutton busting.
This is terrible. This is terrible. I think this probably makes a lot of sense. I think my favorite cartoon growing up was South Park.
I could
That's
see that.
fair. That's a fair answer.
I could see that.
Like, I love South Park. I think it rules.
What was your favorite cereal growing up?
Wheaties.
Wheaties? Is it the same thing
either,
today?
Either Wheaties or God, what were they called? They look like little hay bales.
The frosted, not frosted
it was like
Wheaties, little hay
they,
bales.
They did have.
Captain
It's
like
like
the
shredded wheat. It's like
shredded wheat. And you have to,
Yeah,
and you have to
you gotta
Oh,
break
yeah.
it up. They look like little hay bales.
Yep.
So
cover that shit in sugar.
that was my This is exactly what I did.
Frosted mini wheats. There we go.
Frosted mini wheats was sick too. Those were like the top 3 for me, I would say.
All right. So now you got to bury your soul. Who was your celebrity crush as a kid?
Probably Mila Kunis, which is funny because I actually met Mila Kunis at Iowa. So fucking Kinnick Stadium was very like I was like, it's just like old school where like they were starting to branch out on like different other ways instead of football at Kinnick Stadium. They did the wrestling meet there, which was like a big deal, and then like they did this concert. It was like Back Porch Revival or something, and they had like my quarterback's brother Tucker. He was like a country music artist. They had him, and then they had like Big and Rich and Thomas Red and like a bunch of people. It was sick, and the people that ran it was Dallas Clark and fucking oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He went to Iowa. Who's the dude from Dude, Where's My Car?
The blonde guy?
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher and Dallas Clark were doing like I would see them in like the lunch halls in Iowa, and they'd go to the NFL room, which is like a study room, but it was really like an extra room for like having business conversations and whatever. So I kept seeing them, and I'm just like, I wonder when this is gonna happen. So then, like one of the days, like I was like done with practice or whatever, I hop on my moped or whatever, and there's like this black Escalade, and it rolls down the window, and it's Mila fucking Kunis. And she goes, and she's like, "Hey, I was just wondering, like, have you seen my husband or at all or whatever?" And I just was in total starstruck, and I was just like, I gotta go by, and I just like, I don't even think I said that. I think I just like said ramble jamble and then went on my moped. So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah,
you materialized her.
Yeah.
You materialized it out of thin air. You said, "Come here, Moa." Would you rather have a personal trainer or a chef?
Fucking neither, because I can do both.
That's
I like that answer. There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Your favorite live event as a wrestling fan?
Oh man. The one on the top of my head is Madison Square Garden Supercard, Ring of Honor, New Japan. I was there for that. George was there too. It was sick.
Wow.
Taven and what was the main event? Taven, not Okada, was it?
Fuck, who was it?
I know it was Taven. That's the night he won, but I can't remember.
That was the night he won. I think it was Okada Jay White.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep.
Which I don't even know how I remember that because that wasn't the match I remembered.
What did you remember?
The matches I remembered was like was Jeff Cobb and Ospreay. And that was like the opener. It was insane. And then don't remember anything after that. I do remember Tanahashi was there. Taven did win it that night. I remember Enzo Amore
Oh yeah.
they did that run in and it didn't go very well. Fuck, I'm trying to remember the rest. Didn't the Briscoes wrestle somebody? I remember that.
Oh, they've had to. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't. I'm trying to think of the top of my card. Yeah, off the top of my
dude,
head, I
Jay and
can't
Mark
remember.
were so cool in the locker room at GCW. Meeting
Yeah.
those guys. And like seeing Jay at House of Glory, like before you went, it's pretty wild too. Fucking
Perch
crazy.
was on here talking about that blue bandana that he got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then he was, I mean, okay, so we do a thing, and if you have something nearby, you can. I like to do show and tell. So if you got something nearby you want to tell tell us about, cool. He showed the bandana. Alex Price just got a bendy in the mail, so he was like, hey, here's a bendy. So if you got something, it's okay, and if you don't, that's okay too.
I got a fucking horseshoe right here.
That's awesome.
I'd say that, and I think
What's
behind
the
this door.
what's the horseshoe to?
It's just a horseshoe. I always have it near my bed with the dream catcher because they're both good luck.
Right.
I'm trying to see what else I got.
See the skull back here on the wall, or that? No, that's not real, is it?
No, it's not real. It's just a fucking. Yeah. That's it, man. That's all I got near me.
All right, we did that. Favorite movie genre, and give us 3 movies.
Fistful of Dollars. It's probably the best out of that whole trilogy. Fuck, dude. Why you put this? This is the hardest question.
That's okay. That's okay.
I like, cause like I'm sitting in my brain like, do I want to like just tell him all my favorite Western fucking movies, or do I tell him like outside the box ones?
I'll take both. It's all good. You can mix them together, and then we can all be surprised.
Fistful of Dollars rules. Like that's by far like my favorite fucking any trilogy of any kind. If people know it, it's from like the 1960s. Tombstone rules too.
Love Tombstone.
And then probably Friday Night Lights.
Do the Doc Holliday on here on the.
Oh yeah, that's where this came from. That's where it came from.
Yep, I had a feeling.
Friday Night Lights. I had to read that book in 6th grade. That was awful. Saved it for a week. I saved it for a weekend, not knowing it was 600 pages. So I got it from the damn library. I'm like, oh shit, I got to do like a whole test and report due on Monday, and I just got it now. That was a fun weekend. Literally, that's all I did is stayed in bed and read about all the craziness in that book.
Awesome.
It was a good book though.
I'd say another one's like No Country for Old Men. That's like the most recent Western kind of movie I've really, really enjoyed. There's a show on Netflix. It's called Kevin Go Fuck Yourself.
Haven't heard of that one.
It's like a drama, but also like the comedies from like King and Queens and like kind of shit like that. And it's like different lenses of like here's the husband's lens, and it's the comedy Kings and Queens kind of vibe, and then it's the wife's vision, which is the drama. He's a total.
Wow.
It's kind of mind fucked. That's kind of was Sawyer's fucking show choice, and I started watching it, and I just was like, holy shit, this is really good. Another one, Chic was the one that popped this one on me. It was fuck, what is it called? Because like I was always big into like comics too. Like I always liked Ghost Rider. I thought Ghost Rider was cool.
Yeah.
Movie was all right, I guess, with Nicolas Cage, but like having Sam Elliott in it is kind of cool. But anyway, fucking I think I don't even know what it's called, but it's Justice League, but it's about like it's about Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy,
Hmm.
and it's like a whole, it's like if Justice League was on Adult Swim. It's fucking hilarious. So
Interesting.
it's pretty good. I just can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Those are more shows. I guess I've watched more shows than I watch movies. But those movies, No Country for Old Men. Remember the Titans, fucking
Remember the
Terminator,
Titans.
Star Wars.
RC Blues got to be up there, right?
Varsity Blues fucking rules.
There we
Yes.
go. Okay.
Who don't like bacon, dude? Fuck, man. So
Wow.
great.
Laying down in the road, like,
Bacon.
yeah, fuck yeah. It's a good movie. Found out a teacher was a dancer.
Yeah.
That was great.
Vision Quest was a good one too. It was an old 80s movie. with
Vision
wrestling.
Quest.
Yeah, Vision Quest. Yeah, go watch it. It's good. It's about this guy in high school. He's like a senior, and like he hasn't actually started on varsity for wrestling, but he dropped like insane weight because he was like a big guy. But then like he's like losing all this weight, and the grind and then wrestling, and then obviously there's a girl he meets and all this shit too, right? But then it's like he fights he wrestles the arch rival school badass that was like 3-time state champ, and they play like Lunatic Fringe, which is like Moxley's song.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Good movie.
I have to check that out.
Hoosiers. I liked Hoosiers. That's a cool little
Hoosiers
movie.
was good too. God, it is a good movie. There's a lot of good shit out there, man.
Okay, so what's your worst shoot job you've ever had?
Probably working at a fucking restaurant.
Yeah, just taking shit from people.
I just didn't like it. I'd rather throw hay bales and pick up shit. Fucking do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any ghost stories or spooky stories that you could share that happened at some time in your life? Everybody's always got one.
I was about to say it's been a while. Like, I didn't see that question. I'm surprised you waited this long because that's like a staple of yours. I was like, I wonder if you forgot to do that question or not.
The weirdo in me, the weirdo in me likes to ask about that stuff. Yeah, we used to see shit on the farm, so I always like to talk to people and see if they had any weird stories because shit happens.
So there was this old cemetery near my house in Iowa, and I think it was called Oakland Cemetery, and they had this angel. It's called the Black Angel, and it's like Iowa City folklore. It's like one of the most haunted areas in Iowa, I guess. And like the backstory of the Black Angel was like, I think I could be wrong here. I guess the mother had a kid and miscarried it, and then she like killed herself.
Oh boy.
So like the reason why it turns black, or reason why her grave is black, is because of that. It's something along those lines, some fucked up. And I mean the real reason is because it's like oxygen in the air for like whatever kind of, it doesn't matter, besides the point. But they used to have these old like sayings where like, if you touch it, you like all these curses where it's like, like you lose 50 years of, you have 50 years of bad luck, or like you'll meet a
lose
loved
half
one
an inch off your dick.
Or like they'll die.
I've done
or
it
something.
twice. Yeah.
So
no, we had
my
that shit in
ballsy-
like in our small town,
So my ballsy dumbass decided to do this and go into, because like cemeteries are 24/7, at least where I'm from. So like,
yeah,
we went through it one night, and I went on top of it. This Black Angel, you can look it up. It's kind of creepy looking. It's a big ass fucking grave, a statue, and I fucking jumped on it and I cut its fingers off. and brought one with me. So I got some bad juju apparently. So
Oh my
No
goodness.
kidding.
That's another start of the Mant story there.
Dude, that
Wrap
that
it all
angel.
back up from the
You're
beginning of
so
the story.
right. God damn it.
The I see a picture of the angel right here. It's crazy. It's got like one wing 90 degrees out, and then the other one's kind of off to the side there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaky looking. I could see
It's
where someone
freaky
would say
looking.
something about it.
Especially at night in
Yeah, I
Iowa
could see
in
that.
like November, bro. Oh, or October even.
Yeah.
It's awful. But yeah, there's a bunch of lore on them on that one.
I love it. I love those. I kind of have a feeling I know what the answer is here, but what would be your next language of choice to learn?
It'd definitely be Japanese.
Yeah, kind of felt that would.
Okay. It's either them or German. It's one of the two.
Because of work, WXW.
Yeah,
whatnot.
I think those two, but Japan would be like that's the one.
Are you open to a couple months in Europe?
Yeah. I think not this next time, but I think the next time I might stay there longer than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
How long
We'll
do you think
see.
you could stay in Japan before you're ready to come home? Couple weeks, couple months?
fuck, I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't know if maybe the food acclimation and stuff like that.
Oh, the
you know
food
what I mean?
was amazing, dude. It was
Yeah.
insane. We went to the Airbnb we stayed at. There was a grocery store next door with a McDonald's, which was kind of sick both times. They had this like chicken teriyaki sandwich at McDonald's. It was like the best. It was so good. Anyway, but you could go in the store, and everything was so affordable. You could get like an 8-10 ounce fillet of salmon cooked with like mixed veggies and rice for like 590 yen. That's like
Yeah.
cheap as fuck. Where like if you went to Kroger, if you went to I don't know what grocery store in California that has, I can't draw a blank.
We got Smith's Albertsons out here.
So Smith Albertsons, Hy-Vee,
Smith's
Giant,
is Kroger, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to translate to Manders because Midwest has Kroger.
Mine's Hy-Vee and Kroger. Yeah.
Hy-Vee.
But if we were in the States and you got that on a tray cooked, how much do you think that'd be? Like $40?
30, 40, easy.
Yeah. Like the fact that was the thing just blew my mind. Everything was very affordable there. I was eating pretty great. Like, it was awesome. You could go to the Family Mart and 7-Eleven, and it was just like some of the best shit I've ever had. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was the tourist in me that thought that, but like, I don't know.
The Japanese 7-Elevens are notorious worldwide for having quality items instead of it just being like a small slushy place. They have real food there and places to prep them.
Yeah, it was great.
That was pretty cool.
I think 3 months. I think 3 months though in any place would be enough.
So that'd be about it.
I guess if I had a pick.
Yeah. If you could master or craft one skill, what would it be?
Fucking welding.
Really? I didn't know if you're gonna say bow hunting or welding.
No, I think it'd be welding. Yeah. That's the one I never did, and that's the one I wish I'd like really like, because they make so much fucking money. It's crazy.
I was wondering if you were thinking personal repairs or if you were thinking a job.
I guess I could pick. That was the literal sense of me, and then I think the right answer would be obviously pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually came to the end here. We did it. You did an awesome fucking job here. Okay,
yeah.
So here's how it works. Honestly though, Steve, a lot of people tuned in tonight because they love you and your work. We have hundreds listening. I'm looking at around almost 650 right now. Many hundreds more will be watching this recording to see you. From my research, this is the largest podcast you've been on devoted strictly to you that I know of. So, Steve, you have the rare opportunity to take the microphone center stage, say anything you'd like to the GCW fans, uninterrupted and unimpeded by anyone. basically you deserve this time right here. It's all yours. You can say whatever you want. You can give thanks, but you're talking to quite a few people that tuned in just to hear you, and you have the floor. It's all yours, bud.
I mean, I just want to say thank you guys for listening and watching, and having people like John and B who they ain't getting paid to do this. They're doing this for the love of the game, and like having you guys pay to watch us, you know, bleed, drink, do a move, maybe kiss Effie or drop your pants or whatever to
Or
entertain you is pretty cool. And to live this life, I'm fully grateful for it. I don't expect a lot. I'm just happy doing what I do. And I guess I'm a simple man in a way, or a simple person. And yeah, man, thanks for being along this. It's pretty cool. Super grateful for it. And if you don't know who I am, I'm the boss of the plains, the one called Manders. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the number 1 called _ Manders. I got a big cartel online store. If you want to buy my shirts or merchandise or old ring gear or whatever, that'd be great. I got Cameo too. Yeah, man. It's been great to have you guys, and thanks for listening, and thanks for having me on.
No, thank you for coming on. We've been wanting to have you on for a long time, like for since we were even before Game Changer Weekly. We've been noticing the improvement and been praising everything that you've been doing in GCW and outside of GCW, and to finally have you on and to, as John said, we kind of like very rarely we get to talk with just you and hear everything that you have to say. And yeah, you got 2.5 hours tonight of fantastic stuff, good vibes, fun information, and thank you so much for spending that much time for us, man. We appreciate it so much.
I'm just gonna call the audible. Do you think it's okay if I just run down the 2 shows for this weekend and we call it a night kind of thing?
That sounds good.
Okay. Stick with us, Manders. I'm going to just basically talk about the next 2 shows. Takes like a minute, and then we'll close the show, and I'll just say thank you once we go off air, if that's okay, man.
Fuck yeah.
Cool. All right. Our upcoming shows, we got Saturday, September 14th, GCW's Badwin from Harpo's in Detroit, Michigan. Violent J will be performing. GCW Tag Team Champions, Violence is Forever versus The Pillars. We have Megan Bain versus Brooke Havoc. Brandon Kirk versus Crazy King. Thrusty versus Baka Gaijin. That's Madman Pondo and Too Tough Tony. We have Kylie Ray versus Maki Ito, and the GCW World Championship, Mance Warner versus Danhausen. Then on to our second show of the weekend, Sunday, September 15th, GCW's The G Code from Water Street Music Hall in Brett's home territory of Rochester, New York. We have, not for the GCW Extreme title, Maki Ito, Sawyer Wreck, Dark Sheik, and Brooke Havoc. That I would love to see that one for the title there. Baka Gaijin again versus the High Seas. Zilla Fatu versus Gringo Loco. The GCW World Championship, Masha Slamovich versus Man Like Derice. Danhausen versus Joey Janela. And then finally, we have the match of Cardona, Mance, and Broski Jimmy versus Mandeffy Sus, I think is the best way that one was put. Manders, Effie, and Megan Bain. So that's all this weekend that we have going on for the upcoming shows. By all means, check in with Triller Plus, and you'll be able to find those times. I think this is where we stop for the evening. This ended up being awesome. Again, thank you so much, Manders, for stopping in here with us. A ton of people would love to just the second Bane crew.
I like that one.
I like that one.
The second Bane crew. I like that too.
Fuck yeah. It's always the fans that come up with some good names every now and then. So yeah, good one, great one. Yeah, great one. I don't know a better way to say it for great one, but thank you so much for everybody that tuned in. As always, Brand, is there anything you'd like to say before we head out?
Just one last time, thank you again, Manders, for everything. And once again, everyone, if you want to support Sawyer Wreck and Safe Havens, it's down low. You can follow them at Safe Haven or follow Sawyer Wreck. They got a new shirt and all the proceeds will go to the Safe Haven Foundation. Is there anything I like Manders too? Is there anything you want to elaborate or make sure that we cover on that one? I don't want to do that any disrespect or not do it the right way there.
That was great.
Good. Okay. Okay.
That was great.
Okay.
That was great.
Sorry. Thank you so much, Manders.
Hey man, anytime, guys. I really had fun.
Awesome.
All right, stick
All right,
with us.
John.
You ready to close this out? Let's do it, Brent. Ready?
Sorry, you're gonna have to stick with our failing of saying
I've
longer
heard-
GCW.
I've
names.
heard-
We
heard
fuck
this.
this up every time. You can be involved. It's terrible.
Yes.
We do it though.
Can I?
Okay.
Yes, here we go. All right,
Absolutely.
maybe Manders could be a leader here for us.
Long. No, see, I started to it.
We're all long.
We're all long. Well, I'd love to be long. All right. Long.
Long,
Fucking live.
live.
Come on, Brent. Come on, Brent.
Oh my god, I
Long
can't.
live. G
GCW.
CW.
W. Have a great night, guys.